Well,
Hmm.
okay, I
How much you hate the card is probably relative to how much Standard you played.
Probably.
I wanna stand up for it because during spoiler season, I thought that thing was cracked, and no one agreed with me, and I'm like, "Okay, I mean,
And it
seems
turned
pretty
out to be
good."
pretty
They
cracked.
And
removed the
then,
token
like,
from it.
In Alchemy, yeah.
then it had to get, like, bug fixed, and
Like,
it took over multiple formats. I'm like,
yeah.
"Okay."
I played a lot of Standard, and I was playing Mono Green, but I did realize the problem with the card. Uh, it's also not. I don't know how much it's doing in Pioneer right now. I know Mono Green is the deck to beat.
Oh, it took a big hit with, Winota leaving the format, right?
Well,
Hmm.
you think that would? Well, I don't know if the Mono Green are playing. Cause yeah, Winota was
Well,
playing.
the Winota was definitely playing
Yeah.
it, and it was
Because I
like,
made two
"Hey, this
cats.
Two
is
cats.
messed up."
I do enjoy the running joke that it gets to have of like LMAO 2 cat. You know, the old like I've heard that as a joke for a dwarf fortress. Like, oh boy, you started with 2 cats, now you have infinity cats.
Yeah, that is how Dwarf Fortress used to work. Used
Yeah.
to, if you did not control your cat populations, they would explode in population and destroy your fortress via
Yeah.
frame rate.
Yeah, hi. Hi everybody.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. This is me.
We were talking about cats. That's Slyo's hand.
That's
We're
me.
going through Slyo's cube as he enters it into Cube Cobra. And that's Galacticus.
There we
Cube
go.
Cobra,
Yeah.
let's go away.
So
That is Galacticus, right? I've been saying that all through pre-production.
I thought it was
and
Galactus.
Yes.
Is it
Is it-
Galacticus or
it is Galactus.
Galacticus is a better name.
It's got the Silver Surfer. So I bought this box. So I guess this is the box my cube sits in. Hi, this is the cube.
That's the cube. Everybody in the call has played this cube several times.
Yeah.
Yep.
I bought 900 of these Dragon Shield sleeve. Oh my god, I pulled Kai out again.
Hey,
That's-
well, that's probably
lucky.
not actually random. It's probably sticking out a little extra. That's
Fair.
why it's
Well, I
happened
mean,
times.
if I remember, no, my Kaiga is fine. It's the Kakusha that's beat up. But yeah,
Makes
so
sense. Kusha does
I guess
like to
a
die.
little bit of history. Number one, what is the cube? We draft out of this box. You,
Yep. Hey,
you,
if
you,
you've watched
you get a
the
pack.
channel,
You go ahead and go, you know, I guess we'll lay them out like this. I'll take GT, please. You know,
I'll take Time Spiral next.
yeah, or
Pass it
like,
to your next layer. It's just like drafting.
that one's foil, so it's unreadable.
Nice.
There we
It's
go.
Hypnotic Spectre. You know what
Wow,
this
about
card
that.
does.
But yeah, so the idea is you draft
Oh, yeah,
out
some
of
of
this.
these- Where we tried so hard to get these cards to be readable, and then I know you have like Japanese cards in
I've
this
tried.
game.
I think I've gotten rid of almost all of those. That's what actually a lot of the unsleeved stuff on the side is.
It's was Lightning Bolt.
A lightning bolt's finally replaced, I think, at this point with a foily lightning bolt.
Was it Searing Blaze?
I think it was textless Searing
it was-
Blaze that was the
Promo
problem.
Searing
It was
Blaze,
also
yeah.
like my Bitter Blossom was Japanese or something, and Bitter Blossom was a little hard to replace. But yeah, so I went to Gen Con in 2010, and on the drive there, we drove 8-hour drive. One of the folks I drove with, Matthias, had a pair of cubes. I had never cube drafted it before. This is my introduction to it. And we cube drafted on the way there because we drove to Gen Con in a paneled van, windowless van, like what that you would see with like free candy on the side, joke level van.
Right.
Um,
That's weird.
Look, it's just how it went. I don't know.
A utility
Sure.
van is a useful object to own. I'm
So-
going to stick
Well-
up for utility.
Yeah, I mean, I get you.
What it meant was that there were 2 seats in the front and we could just play cube in the back.
All right.
But this is my introduction to cube, and I'm like, oh my god, like, you can just build a thing to draft with? Yeah. So what I did is at Gen Con, I bought this box. This is a Herald of Galactus versus System box.
God, the versus system.
Yeah, he hungers. This box was $10. It is a fairly thick, like constructed cardboard. Like this is not
It's-
even cardboard. This is like heavy.
It's like particle board. It's stoutly built.
And you can see here-ish. There, you can sort of see there's 2 magnets, and that's what keeps this bit closed here. Is it's magnetically. Anyway, it was a $10 box. It contained 2 deck boxes, 2 sets of sleeves, about a dozen packs of verses, because it was like a starter kit for playing verses or whatever. Anyway, but like at Gen Con, you can just buy dead card games for $5. So I keep my cube in this, and today's thing I wanted to do is I get asked a lot, hey, like, do you have a list for your cube? Or, like, I think to myself, hey, I should, like, update my cube or, like, know what's in it because I don't sometimes. Like, there's these cards on the side. These are cards that, like, got cut. And it's like, okay, I cut, Yogg's Will, and there's the text.
You got
Form of the Moldrifter.
Form of the Moldrifter.
I'm sad that Yawgmoth's will got cut.
But yeah, these are all cards I get. Oh, there's the Texas Lightning Bolt.
Texas Lightning Bolt. I think that's fine, actually.
Yeah, but
You
these
play
are all.
Hearthstone, you know what Lightning Bolt does.
These are all. How about like? Not everyone's familiar with Flame Javelin.
Flame Javelin or Incinerate. Most people are probably familiar with
Muta Boveda.
Seta Portuguese.
Or
Boveda.
Exactly.
Or
oh yeah, tell me how.
Do you know all the
Vendilion click plays?
Who does it target? When do you see the cards? Oh look, it's that Bitter Blossom I mentioned.
It's a Bitter Blossom.
Yeah, Burning Tree. There's a number of cards. These are all like cards that have been in the cube in the past.
Made the wise decision to take
Ooh, okay.
Questing Beast.
Not only Questing Beast. Foily Questing Beast.
Ooh.
Shiny Questing Beast.
Yeah.
At least that one has all the text on it.
This is the newest card in the queue by like 3 years, by the way. So
I was about to say, I don't remember seeing that.
No.
I saw the other guy I saw was Hex Drinker, and that was Modern Masters 1 or Modern Horizons 1.
Yeah. So yeah, this cube hasn't been actually updated since like 2018, and even those updates were like one-for-one replacements of cards that wanted to be removed and had like literally strictly better printings of cards, things like that, like things that were just like, oh, this is the simplest ad. So what we're doing,
my question is Goblin Legionnaire still in here?
I think so.
I mean, we love Goblin Legionnaire, but we don't know if he's
Alright, so we're gonna make Sly Knight's cube.
Sly Knight's cube.
Standard Pauper cube, that's not true. But here, we're going to go ahead and do the list. Who does it not? Hold on. How do I?
Okay. Cobra, please.
Add, remove. So.
Here we go.
So yeah, what we're just gonna do is we're gonna go through cards and add them to this cube list as we go.
Yeah.
And
that's right. Are you ready for tedium?
Oh yeah.
Our main goal is to digitize it, so we can talk about the cards as we go through, but we're not gonna if we have a card we definitely want to remove, we can talk about it, but we should still add it to the list.
God.
Right.
And
Mastercore. I love Mastercore so much.
I think the central problem with maintaining a cube at all is that every card you put in, it is somehow beloved, and it becomes this thing where it's really hard to part with or get rid of until your cube is just this huge mess, and it's imbalanced in several different ways, and everybody hates drafting with it. I don't think that's necessarily happened here.
Okay, we've got Promo Shieldred.
Oh, Shieldred is coming back to relevance again.
Yeah.
In the plot. Wow.
Yeah. The timing on this. This is This is the You can see it.
The reanimator target that is a reanimator.
7th May of
that's
some year.
That's the dated one. 2011. 2011. Yeah. The Masticore is from the most busted product, the most illegal product Wizards ever made.
What is that? From the vault?
From the Vault Relics contains, I think, 5 reserved list cards.
Ooh.
Including, like, so I thought I didn't know what the most expensive card I owned was for a while. I was like, okay, is it like my Force? Is it, is it my like Caracas? Or maybe it's my From the Vault Relics Mox Diamond that's currently $1 million. Speaking of what do you do with Children?
It's reanimate.
Full reanimate. Yeah, reanimate, which gets us more to the necessities of a healthy cube, which is your deck archetypes and synergies.
But if you do have reanimate, you definitely have to have the Robert Bliss reanimate, so you've got the right one.
It looks like
Did they ever print another one?
Oh yeah, it's gotten reprints.
So it looks like newer. So it looks like this is unsorted. Like I haven't sorted this file, but it looks like somebody was drafting a reanimator last time we touched this.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I wonder who that. So yeah, like Liliana the Veil is here for fitting in the reanimation strategy and also being a good answer to everything. I mean, it's Liliana the Veil. Currently, as of this moment, there's heavy speculation this card is getting a reprint in Dominaria United.
I would be into that.
There was an art stream today where they showed off a bunch of art. The Liliana art, all the art was had the card name in the bottom left, except for the Liliana art, which did not have the card name. And there's a note in Mark Rosewater's bit, blurbs that says a popular planeswalker being reprinted. And damn if this wouldn't be it, right? Like
that is a popular planeswalker card for sure.
Liliana not as powerful in Modern anymore.
Ooh, I've got a piece of evidence for you in that regard vis-a-vis Liliana of the Veil. So the character depiction in Magic Spellslingers, which is a video game,
like
it shows her with the chain veil just hanging out on the side. You could just see her with the chain veil.
I knew she had the the brass horn things. She also makes messed up faces when she's attacking you. It's like she looks like she's making the Flemin response that horses do.
Oh, speaking of,
here's your Mox Diamond.
Speaking of the devil, and it shall appear.
Illegal Mox Diamond.
So this was a card that absolutely was on reserve list, and this foil printing of it is it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Also,
Mox Diamond is my favorite.
There's another kind of tough part about having a cube at all. It's like you have to. I mean, it's fun to play with friends and all, but you have to also be really protective of it because it's also like a whole bunch of valuable stuff in one place.
Right. Like when we hit save changes here, it's gonna tell us, what this all is worth monetarily, and then I'm going to explode.
It's fine. It's an investment.
That's a feature.
It doesn't know what printings these are. It's going to say that's
God. There's a cheap printing of Mox Diamond. Yeah,
No, but there's different printings of Children. And
Yeah.
And I'm sure that old Mox Diamond is probably worth 3 times that new one.
Oh God, what is this doing in here still?
Cataclysmic Gearhulk.
The Gearhulk cycle is still in here, huh?
I know because the last time we've drafted this cube together, I tried to draft Tinker, and the only thing I could tinker into was Torrential Gearhulk. Everybody else we didn't open the
Okay, Gilded Drake would be the most. When we get to Gilded Drake, it's gonna be great. You might think Gilded Drake would be one of my more expensive cards, but nobody's ever gonna give me money for my copy.
Yeah, well, no, it's what we call HP in the business.
Ah, yes.
Ooh, land tax.
Yeah.
I miss when Magic cards could look like this. Just a fucking guy.
Oh my God.
So good.
Mom?
But yeah, I was gonna say that having a cube as an investment is like the nerd equivalent of guys who have a boat.
The difference is you can sell cards. You cannot sell your boat.
Well, but it is similar in the sense that, especially with this, it's I use this twice a year.
Right.
Yeah. Ooh, Kira, the glass spinner.
Kira's pretty good. One of the things I'm just thinking of as we're going through this is like what are cards I would want to remove, and I already see like a number.
Like Gearhulk, maybe.
I remember there was some deck archetype that was like a Merfolk deck
Cyclonic
that
Rift.
just ran Kira Great Glass Spinner as an honorary Merfolk because you needed that amount of protection to keep your guys afloat.
One of the things that I remember about Kira is that Kira is notorious in one of the most notorious cheat videos.
Ooh.
Because, you know, 2 Explorers is a known, you know,
Oh yeah.
one. But, like, there's one where, like, is it Bertoncini again? It might literally be Bertoncini.
It might just be another known cheater, Alex Bertoncini video.
It might. I don't. But 2 Explorers is like playing 3 lands in 1 turn off of 1 anyway. But with Kira, it was like Kira got targeted, Kira gets like bolted, and Kira just goes back to hand. It's like, oh damn, wow, that's really powerful.
Like, what a trick.
The new hotness of cheating is using deflecting palm on a blocking creature. That happened in a small
That's Tarmogoyf.
Yep.
Tarmogoyf.
Tarmogoyf has gone around in value a lot. Like, this was huge.
Yeah, he's not that playable in Modern anymore. Basically, it's just Jund that plays it, and Jund is a bad deck. He's still okay in Legacy, though. You can play Tarmogoyf in Legacy just fine.
Well, like, in Legacy, you just kind of want to play, like, a threat and go style thing, and Tarmogoyf is quite good at being a threat and go.
Yeah.
I bet you can play Legacy. I bet you can play Tarmogoyf in Vintage. Here he
All
is.
right,
He's here.
All right.
Heavily played.
So I love my Gilded Drake. Because
Heavily played.
It's heavily loved. This is, it actually looks pretty good to me because I've kept it in this case forever since I got it. But this is definitely,
This thing looks like it's seen war.
yeah, this
Like-
is
It kind of looks like somebody washed it in their jeans.
battle-tested Gilded Drake.
That'll damage Gilded Drake.
There's no correct dollar amount for something like this.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, give me $5. Yeah, like it's just it's deployed.
I gave you my
Where
Kid, this-
printed right on the card.
Kid, this was Desert Storm. Like, but yeah, I like one of the things I love having cards like this that have. Look, I'm never gonna get rid of it, so I don't care that it's damaged. So like, it gives it a unique flavor to it. There's a really good Ristic study kind of on the whole on that idea, like that talks about like just like an EDH deck that's like an unsleeved mono black deck. But yeah, Gilded Drake. Oh hey. Is Regrowth good enough to be in here? Christ.
Regrowth is always on the line. I think if you're
Yeah.
taking out like Yawgmoth's Will, you have
Right.
no reason to have.
It's like
Regrowth
it's
in your
secretly
deck, Cube.
just for that kind of graveyard. It's like this secret red-blue card, Regrowth.
Just keep Eternal Witness in there, and you'll be fine. So fine,
So fine.
the good sword.
I've been considering cutting these. They're on the list, on my list as well, mostly because as cool as they are, they always suck ass to play against.
They do suck ass to get played. It depends on what kind of Stoneforge package do you want to have.
Yeah.
Because like these things aren't any less unbeatable. These things are more beatable than a Cauldra Complete.
Yeah, but like if I just keep the Stoneforge as like
Better Skull.
Better Skull
Jite.
GT, Bone Splitter, and there's probably a couple others that are. This is probably cuttable these days. Duplicant's days are
Duplicant is if you're like have heavy artifact sub themes. Like if you've got a really good Urza cube, I think duplicant ways. But in like a general purpose cube, you don't have to have duplicant around.
Ooh,
Prime time.
okay. I get to
Stamped prime time.
Yeah, let's talk about. So you can see on the card here, there's this little
It's hard
cat stamp, watering can, You did Rorschach test? A
That's
stamp.
It's a mark of some variety.
So these cards are stamped because they're from they're from constructed or not constructed events. They're from
PTQ draft.
yeah, like PTQ, like Pro Tour stuff. You know, they get to catch up state. Now that like this means that this was a card drafted at like a M11. Where did I get this from? Where did I draft Nationals? This must have been Nationals. I think there was a limited format part of that. But when you draft at a major event, that's the word I'm looking for. Just major event. The packs are already open. They don't hand you a sealed pack. They open the pack and stamp all the cards, and then hand you the pack so that those cards are like already known and counted. So like,
So you're not sneaking in anything.
yeah.
Mhm.
You know,
Johnny Five Aces with his Mox Diamond.
yeah. So a number of these are these have history of like yes, played at a high level. Also, Primeval Titans, hell of a card.
Twisty. Time Spiral, everybody's favorite Twister effect. Johnny Five Jaces, yeah, there you go.
What did I?
You forget to add Primeval Titan.
I don't think I added Primeval Titan.
There you go.
Should be on 19. Or I just added twice. Oh no, Time Spiral's the missing one. Okay.
There we go.
I was like, there's 19, but I'm holding 18 cards. Johnny. This also might be one of the newest cards in the cube.
A Text Drinker.
I think.
It's
What did this
a fine
replace?
card. Did you have like? You had a Wild Nicatl that was off on the side.
That might have been it. Because like, are there 5 Jaces in this cube? 1, 2. I actually don't
Mini
think
Jace
so.
got cut.
Mini Jace got cut, so probably not. I think you can 4 Jace. So Vryn's Prodigy, Mind Sculptor. God, I think the one that Foffs.
Memory Adept.
Not Memory Adept, not Cod Memory Adept. But I think, not Living Guild Pact, but the Architect of
Thought. Here's GTA.
Good old GTA.
Yeah. I've mentioned the fun fact about GTA way back in the day, but this came in a, like, starter deck, like, pre-con.
Oh, the Rat's Nest?
Rat's Nest.
Yeah.
So, you could buy a Rat's Nest pre-con for $10 and sell the GTA for $18. Being in high school, that was a good way of making money.
Hypnotic Spectre. Another grandfather game.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like, especially with the cube containing Dark Writ. So it's like an
this-
RPG buddy making trick, yeah. But yeah, like, I remember, I think it was when Ty was playing this a few years back. Ty got to live the dream of, like, Dark Writ hippie level shenanigans, and like, you always get to feel real good when you pull that off.
Call me when you do that with Phyrexian Negator.
Ooh.
Control magic.
Control magic. Gain control of target creature. That's definitely text that would be on there.
Enchant creature. And it's a guy being like sending out a blue beam.
There's also skull right there.
Skulls.
Hidden
And
skull.
Pondering his Horn.
Amazing.
Oh,
Worm Coil Engine. Not good enough to tinker into, but good enough for basically everything
this
else.
is like always on the edge of like tinker into. If you tinker into this, you're immediately getting pathed and you'll feel bad, but like this card's just ridiculous.
We all love Worm Coil Engine.
Oh.
Aetherling. Ooh, there's a
Aetherling.
cut. I don't believe in Aetherling.
Aetherling was the old
This is a card we have history with because
Yeah.
this was a standard format.
Yep.
All stars.
This was the Sphinx's Rev win con because it could attack for like 8 unblockable and it was unkillable as hell and like
Yeah,
but
it's just biggest, most controllingest control finisher ever made, and had its time in the sun.
yeah, it's probably
You know, fluffed up by Supreme Verdict and
Force of Will.
I think I just have Force of Will. I don't think Negation's in here because I don't think that was again.
Yeah, now you have to think: how many pitch spells do you want in your cube? Is now
Right.
a question you have to ask, because now there's at least, well, a lot of them aren't playable. Like Force of Despair is not a card.
Speaking of
Whip
not
might
Corner,
playable,
might be able to make like a fake cycle of pitch spells out of the what the Solitude. And
yeah,
the red one.
Fury.
Well,
Fury.
Morphling Likes just don't do it anymore. The problem with Aetherling is not like it'll get the job done 100%. Like it's just that the card is infinite mana. Like the deck it was in and constructed ended on like 20. Like was like you'd have 14 lands in play. That doesn't happen in limited. You know.
The things that have come and eclipsed it are things like Ojutai, Dragon Lord Ojutai,
Yeah.
and that's Sphinx. What's it called? Dream Trawler. God,
Oh,
fuck that
Dream
card.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Fuck that card. Don't put that in your cube. That's not
Yeah.
fun.
But like, because
Nobody ever had fun playing Dream
yeah,
Trawler.
Whip Quarter is just such a.
That's an old favorite.
That was
It's a
it.
Grizzly Bear.
Ooh, this is somebody's
God.
favorite.
Capsize.
Capsize.
The fucker spell. One of the many bounce spells of its era.
Oh god.
Absolute monster of a card. Ooh, okay. This is a cycle of lands
Sure.
I remember adding because they were cheap and there weren't other good options for aggressive lands when I added these.
Now you have many different
Like
kinds.
these likely are all becoming just pathways, I think, in my mind.
Yeah, you always have to think about. That's like the first question you ask when you're designing your cube: is what is your mana base?
Because one of the problems I remember with this cube, with how we play it, is that mid range still is the like the most top deck. You know, I'm a Thragtusk liker, and I designed a cube that makes Thragtusk cool. How'd that happen?
Are you telling me the guy with the Muldrifter emotes might have made like a mid-range cube, a value cube?
Yeah, these are
Muldrifters.
These are still like fine.
Yeah, they're
but-
fine. They're fine. They're fine lands.
But like,
But
they're definitely, especially like, there are fetches in here. More fetchable targets would probably be good because I only have shocks in here.
like, if you were to restructure it, you could take out the
There-
temples, add the triomes, and then add some fast lands.
God, talk about a-
there you go.
Talk about a card that likely can just go. This is
Farewell, I think, is the strict upgrade to Chroma's
Yeah.
Judgment, or what is that? Chroma's Vengeance.
Vengeance. But yeah,
Farewell does it as well.
there was a period in like. So this cube did have alpha duels for a while because I owned like 4 or so, but there came a point in my life where I needed to pay rent.
Yeah,
And
duels went
The
bye-bye.
easiest way to do that was flip an underground sea.
The cycling on a Chroma's Vengeance is still fine. That card's still fine, I think.
Yeah.
Here's Yosei, the Ultra Fucker.
Mm.
Yosei is the most unfair of these cards. We're going to see a lot of these dragons. I know most of them. Are they all in the
It
cube?
pulls
Is Falling
some-
Star in the cube?
Oh man. So like way back when OG Ravnica was out, there was a reanimator deck that made use of, like after Guild Pack, that huge enchantment
Debtor's
was like-
Knell.
Debtor's Knell.
Knell.
And it would Debtor's Knell back a Yosei, then Debtor's Knell back another Yosei.
both
At the
die.
time, they would both die from the legend rule, and you would get 2 instances of the trigger, which was enough to keep your opponent
locked
tapped down until you could do this again, and it was called Yosei Lock.
So that deck had a long evolution over the like year and a half that Debtor's Knell was legal, along with literal just resurrection, white 2, pick up a guy, because
That was time shifted.
that was time shifted in Time Spiral. So the deck went from like Debtor's Knell to it became like a deck called Greater Good, because Greater Good was a green 2 enchantment that could sack a creature, draw cards equal to its power, discard 3, and so you just like keep doing this with it, Yosei Lock. Then it became Resurrect a Chroma on turn 3 or 4, called Solar Flare.
Solar Flare is exactly what you would think a Reanimator deck would be called.
Name.
Fetches. Now, I talked to before briefly at some point about how I was making a bespoke cube just in my free time as a fun thing.
Mm-hmm.
Fetches are too foundational to strong Magic decks that I just put fetches into the cube. On command shuffle effects are too
Yeah, you got your on command shuffle. The green ones can fetch a creature who's
Dryad
also
Arbor.
a forest. Yeah,
This could fetch Mystic Sanctuary these days.
yeah, and put a thing back on top to like get it out of the way of graveyard removal that costs.
or just redraw Cryptic again style nonsense. Or
my favorite thing right now is Witch's Cottage with Aether Mage's Touch. Ooh, Consecrated Sphinx. That one still holds up.
Good old honorary Titan Consecrated Sphinx.
So you make people do a dance with your graveyard hate. So if you fetch the target with Witch's Cottage, like you would Mystic Sanctuary, they have to blow their graveyard hate then, or else it's too late.
No, just saving the additions before. Fun thing, we've hit no red cards because we've just hit a couple decks here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put really quiet Xenoblade music in the background. It's just there for flavor. Ooh.
Ancient Tomb.
Okay.
No one did anything fair with this card ever. Is Chalice in here?
I don't think
Tomb
so.
Chalice. That seems like a choice you would make. You've hung out with
it wouldn't
Ryan
even be
Overturf enough.
It wouldn't be any good in this cube because like, what is that fighting against?
Yeah. So, the one thing about this cube too is that one of the design decisions I made early was no signets.
Yeah, there's signets off to the side, but signets always mid-rangeify your cube and greedify your cube. Caracas.
This is my.
It's gonna be hard to read no matter what.
Yes.
Now the cool thing about this one is that this is actually an English Caracas,
Yeah, not an Italian one.
not an
Like a lot of
Italian
the-
one. That's what makes it.
A lot of the
cool.
Homelands ones were not Homelands, Legends. Legends ones were Italiano.
Yes.
Famously, they did not print enough Legends cards because the sets were bad, but they ordered more Italian cards, so there's just a lot of them that are in Italian.
Yep.
If you want your Bartle Runax,
Or you want your the Angus Mackenzie.
Angus McKenzie.
Okay.
Student of Warfare. Student of Warfare is on the edge.
Yeah,
I still think it beats ass, but it's one to think about. Chains of Mephistopheles. That one makes sense in Italiano, though.
Yeah, it's already unreadable. May as well put it in.
Funny bit about chains. With the introduction of the word mill, it gains a lot of readability.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Yeah.
Like, it's not perfect because it's still a lot of nonsense, but
Like figuring out how one chains of Mephistopheles works is not that bad.
It's when you
Figuring
get
out what
multiple.
happens when you have two of them and you cast Brainstorm. That's the real thinking hours.
This card might have the EDH problem.
Yeah, the Soul Ring, which is to... It's
Whoever-
like...
Whoever drafts
Ring
it
is-
is
It's like a piece of power in your cube.
right.
You know?
Yeah.
This is
Like,
the,
it's like
this is the
as
relics
powerful as a
printing well.
Mox.
Yes, maybe more in certain instances.
And I think in a lot of cube decks, I think Soul Ring is more powerful than a Mox.
All right, so this is the brainstorm I went with. I like,
Ice Age.
Galaxy Brain one.
like the Ice Age one. There's a lot of good brainstorms.
Which Ponder do you have?
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
I think
Is it Three Moons Ponder or is it Boop Merfolk Ponder?
it was textless. I cut out the textless one, I remember, so I think it's Lorwyn Ponder.
That is my preferred Ponder because
Oh,
the moon. Ooh, here's your favorite card.
this is what this is.
Knight of White Orchid. That's one of Slyo's pet cards.
I played
And
it.
it's good.
I played in a pro tour with this card, and it whipped ass. This card was very good at being letting you get back on the play when you were on the draw.
Mm.
You just play this down and then make another two, and then you get to play like the deck I was playing back then was a deck called Boat Brew. Famous for being bad in the mirror. AKA everybody thought the deck was bad. But it was a red-white deck that revolved around small creatures and like Revelark. Like, so you had things like Knight of the White Orchid, Mog Fanatic, you played Siege Gang Revelark, you played I remember playing Balefire Liege in there, a number of other bits like that. But this card, because one thing about this card is that it says Plains card.
Yep, so you can get duels.
You have duels. Oh, and that deck played was also like a Windbrisk Heights deck. So Spectral Procession. Ooh.
Here,
Elspeth's
Elspeth's Sun Champion. At one time, an unbeatable card in Modern. The card is pretty good.
Yeah, that's
There was a period of time in Modern where if you were going to put a 6-mana card in your deck, it may as well be Elspeth's Sun Champion.
interesting. This is the Wrath.
You gotta remember, it's this Hallowed Burial. This is a good Wrath.
It's bottom of deck, all creatures. This was again during the Shadowmoor standard format. This was your Wrath. And it was very good at making sure,
Persist creatures died.
yeah, persist creature died. The recursion was less prevalent. Like,
Probably one of the better 5-mana rat. Now this card is a card. This card used to be really expensive. Not anymore. Its price is plummeted fairly heavily.
did it have a reprint or did the deck it was in fall over?
Mostly it was Hollow the Storm Giant, which is
Oh,
a land for your blue-white deck that comes
yeah.
into play untapped. So you
Okay,
can cast Counterspell on turn 2.
fair.
So Colonnade, some people still play Colonnade, but it used to. This card was very expensive because it wasn't printed that much, and blue-white was a very popular deck.
And speaking of blue-white,
Here's your Sphinx's Rev.
you can see
Powerful
we're-
card. I've never liked this card that much in Cube.
Yeah, I don't think the deck, like the deck that it's for can exist, but like it's harder to have that going on. This was the shutout in standard.
Yes, you drew 4 cards or whatever with this, and then you just didn't lose.
Yeah, because the next one drew 6. Hey,
Muldrifter with the snake art.
so I actually do as I kind of showed earlier on the side. Did I cut True Name?
You might have cut True Name, and that makes sense because True Name's not fun.
Yeah, so you can see here, we do have
got your choice. Take
Many
The
your choice.
ages of Mole Drifter.
Many possible mole drifters await you in my cube. I have this mole drifter on the side because there was, I think, one of the plays I had with this. If you drafted the mole drifter, you got the form of the mole drifter as well.
Ooh.
And then all your cards are mole drifter if you want them to be. Yes, so
You do like form of Mole Drifter.
I do. It's the one playtest card I own. Mole Drifter. I love Mole Drifter. There have been a couple attempts of printing not Mole Drifter in the past. The closest to it I think that's ever been was in Kaladesh.
Yeah, the softer
Blue-white.
guy. Softer guy, yeah.
It was like a blue-white 3/2/2 that drew 2 cards and gained 2 life.
Mm-hmm. And now we've got Inspiring Overseer, who's half of a Mole Drifter.
So this
Cloud Blazer, yeah. Counterspell.
This is if you can see on the foiling, there's a watermark here. This was an F&M promo. There was a long while where the, like, Friday Night Magic promos were, like, not great. And then there was a long while where they were absolutely wild. There's a lot of folks who would joke you could build the entirety of Blue-Green Madness out of F&M promos, and they're right, because even the worst cards got printed as F&M promos for that deck. But then, like, there's like a set that, like, in Shadowmoor Shards era, it's like Path to Exile, Kitchen Finks, like just every I think Red Cap had one. Like, every like playable non-rare card that you would want to have a promo art had one then.
Snappy.
Right next to Counterspell, huh?
Right next to Counterspell. Snappy as well. Not as favored in Modern anymore. Still
Really?
gets played elsewhere though. Yeah, he's a little too expensive.
That's terrifying.
It is. Plus, really, it's got a lot of tension with Murktide Regents. It's one of the things.
Oh, sure.
Temple of Epiphany, another temple.
Yeah, and I put these on the list because they have to. I want the list to be true to the cube, but
Snappy still gets played in Legacy. Don't worry about Snappy. We got Sower.
Yep. Friend of
Snap
Revel Arc.
Friend of Revel Arc. Snap Ponder is a lot better than Snap Opt, you know?
Oh, true. Ah, here's the chalice, of course.
Here's the chalice of the chalice we like. The ever-flowing chalice never did anything unfair ever.
Yeah,
Wait, does it get charge counters on it when you kick it? What kind of counter is it?
charge.
Then you could use your power conduit to charge it up.
Ooh. Proliferate it, start getting massive mana. Hey.
Hey, Shriek Ball.
Yeah, and
You've got lots of Necrotals to choose from these days.
yeah, Chupacabra takes like the
Most generic.
most generic, but Shriekmaw is always my yep.
Some shocks. That's a original.
I think each of the shocks are because I've just had them forever. These are original ones from Dissension.
They've printed shocks so many times because they're just. Like,
And they're printing them again in Unfinity. They have a printing. More temples.
More temples.
What do you think the first red card we're going to see will be?
Goblin Guy.
I sure hope so.
We love Goblin Guy.
It's like, haven't seen any yet.
I'm thinking Hellrider.
Ooh. I do love Hellrider.
Creeping Tar Pit, one of the other best creature lands that exist out of Worldwake. Unblockable 3/2s.
Unblockable 3/2s.
Fire Blast is definitely in here. Disc.
Larry Levin's Disc. Disc is always an interesting card. because it is a wrath for anybody. It's also a wrath for like Karn decks.
Yeah, this is I mean, it's a wrath that, like a Chroma's Vengeance, you know, fails to hit walkers, which is what is something that makes it both a boon and a bust, depending on how you're building and playing. Really?
A lot less troll.
Really? Okay. So I'm going to talk about the original design on my cube. Was very basic. Each multicolor faction got 8 or 9, I think it was 8 or 9 cards. And then tricolored factions, if they existed, got 1 card. And that was it for multicolored cards. So here's Lolith Troll taking up one of the 8 Golgari spots.
I do like Lolith Troll. It's just it's a weird card. It has a weird tensions because it's like an aggressive card that you want to play in degenerate decks.
Right, you really want to be playing it like. And here it's here to facilitate reanimation as a discard outlet as well as an aggressive line.
Right, but typically you don't want to pay 2 different colors for your. Well, that's the first red card.
The first red card is Combustible Gear Hulk. Like,
that's our bust.
Because if you really just want a cheap discard outlet, Unis Prowler is probably better.
Yeah. Ooh.
Mesmeric Fiend. I do love Mesmeric Fiend. I like having sack outlets with Mesmeric.
I remember having an opponent just like have a meltdown from Astral Sliding Tidehell Scholar.
Yes.
And just like, wait, what are you doing? That's illegal. That doesn't make any sense. I'm leaving. Huh.
Chaos Warp.
I feel like red might need direction from... Look at here. I don't hate Chaos Warp.
Well, again, I like a holistic view of the cube, right?
Yeah.
Like, get it all in there, then start thinking about things rather than trying to like replace things piecemeal.
Yeah, yeah.
You ship a Theseus your cube, and you're gonna end up with like absolute wildness, right?
Yeah, that's why there's been so few changes as of late.
Right.
Because the
Chainer's Edict.
Chainer's Edict, classic. This was back in the days of Cabal Coffers. This was huge. It's 2 for 1. It's flashback for 7.
No, your cube is a Pauper cube now because this guy is a Pauper All-Star. Ooh.
The Knight of Glory?
That is Knight of Glory.
Yeah.
Do you have Knight of Infamy in here?
Gotta. What is the best edict these days?
Hard to say. Do you mean like 1 in a black edict effect? It's probably Sudden Edict. It's Diabolic Edict with Split Second.
I mean, Liliana the Veil is kind of...
Liliana the Veil. Ooh,
Yeah,
Serendib Befried!
Now that,
wow.
Here we are. Serendib
Grandfathered in.
Yep.
Still a powerful card, but it's here because he's green.
Like, even back when this was new, this was a very well-known misprint.
Yeah.
I like Riveteer's Charm's a really good edict. I love that card.
All right, yep.
Boundary.
I
Sudden Edict is just a Diabolic Edict with Split Second, so you can't do anything tricky with it.
I started playing during Champions, and when these got spoiled, I think Temple Guard was the first one. Everybody went absolutely wild.
Yeah,
because it was
typed duels.
Holy smokes!
Duels with types.
Oh.
That did not. Plus, shardless. Plus, do you remember what lands were like?
Yes, because I played Standard during Mirrodin, Champions. That was when I started. Multicolor decks were basically illegal unless you were green base with like Sack Tribe, Kodama's Reach, and then it could be 4-color nonsense. You could do whatever the hell you wanted.
Tindo Ice Bridge.
Yeah.
I think you had Pains. Did you have Pains in that?
Yeah, so if
set?
you were allied, you had Pains. And then that was it, because your other options were, there weren't any in Mirrodin, because they didn't print duels in that set, and the duels in Kamigawa
Or like the worst possible duels.
had exert themselves as far as like what they did.
It's why people actually
you really
played
couldn't play
Tindo
those.
Ice Bridge when they wanted
Do we have like illegal stuff to do with Shardless Agent, or is it just kind of like?
I think the most illegal thing Shardless Agent has is a draw
Probably
3.
Ancestral Visions?
I think you can
Yeah.
Ancestral Visions, which would involve
Okay.
top nonsense, basically.
Right.
Yeah, this is like a Shardless Bug style. Hellspark Elemental.
What on earth?
Hellspark Elemental is a Spark Elemental from Hell. It's 1 in a red for a 3/1 trample haste, dies with Unearth, red and 1.
So you get 2. It's got flashback.
This was a premier card in its printing because it's basically Ball Lightning spread over 2 turns, except for it's not. Except for when it's not, you know. So.
How do you feel about Lightning Skelemental as a card?
I mean, it's pretty good. Ooh. Wow.
That's right.
Wow. Oh, what?
New cards. New.
Here's someone new.
New.
I think this just replaced a Hero's Downfall.
That would make a lot
Again,
of sense.
any card that got added was a 1-for-1 over a card with almost the exact same effect. So that had to have been like over Hero's Downfall. All right, yeah, we have these duels as well. I like these ones.
Buddy lands are good, especially when you have shocks in your cube.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Eldraine is as far as we go for newest cards. Oh boy.
Collector Mage.
Banned in Standard.
Ugh.
Standard ban.
Ugh. I always groan a little bit when I see this card.
Yeah.
He sucks so much. Did you know you could play this card with Collected Company?
Yeah, I know.
I just
Collected Company is also so messed up. I hate so many like format defining deck archetypes are just mana cheats. I'm sick of it.
all right.
Kiss
Kiss
Cast
for more bingo.
Kiss Kaz for more bingo. It's an anagram that we figured out of Brimaz, King of Oreskos.
Yep. Which
Burmaz is pretty good.
Burmaz could technically be replaced by
The card you would want to replace it with now is that human.
the human that is just on a creature attack.
Oh yeah.
The human Adelaide or
Yes.
Adelaide.
Adeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, the artist from Kirby.
Mm-hmm.
Adeline, yeah.
Adeline Resplendent Cathar.
Yeah. Burmaz, like, Adeline doesn't directly power creep Burmaz because of how its power works, and also I don't think it does on block, whereas Burmaz does on block.
Burmaz doesn't block.
But
It should-
if you're
Adeline
being
is
an
just-
aggro deck, it is going to be the better card.
Plus Burmaz makes cats.
Oh,
Verdict. They
sure.
still haven't made a better one than this. That's the one thing about like Rev. If you ever want to like replace an Orzhov, not an Orzhov, but
Hey.
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 But if you ever want to replace a man, why am I blanking on that stupid guild name?
Azorius?
If you ever want to just add like replace an Azorius card in your cube, there are 10 million playable blue-white cards.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Like the Reflector Mage and that Wrath can easily go out if I want to just go back to Wrath of God. Okay.
a Chroma.
Straight up a Chroma.
Not my favorite Chroma card. I like red
Wrath,
Chroma.
not Fury.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Fury is the red one.
Furious the red
Wrath
one.
sounds like it could be a red
I
word. is the
know, right?
problem.
It's almost like a gigantic white creature with haste and trample shouldn't
Noble.
exist. That's
Should not
weird.
exist.
What a weird thing that
This-
they printed.
What a strange card that they keep printing. I love Noble Hierarch. Ignoble
Yeah,
Hierarch
that's-
probably goes in here too.
You can like replace like a Findorn Elves or something with it.
Yeah.
God, I really hope that we don't get a Chroma cycle, because then the like red one will have. Oh no, we already got the red one. Well, I don't know, the green.
Will
one
the
will
blue one have
light or
haste?
something? I don't
Hey,
know.
it's Finkel. Shadow Mage Infiltrator. Maybe outclassed with a ninja version of him. Ingenious
Yeah.
Infiltrator. Although not strictly better. Ingenious Infiltrator does not have his own spear. But he's a ninja.
Right.
Depends on if you have... I won't play your cube anymore if you put the 5-mana ninja in here, though.
The Fallen Oni?
Yeah, Fallen Shinobi.
Fallen Shinobi?
Yeah, fuck Fallen Shinobi.
I've lost so many games of Fallen Shinobi.
Here's a Tooth and Nail.
Tooth and Nail, I really loved how Tooth and Nail worked in Standard. Because, so, these days, when you think of Kiki Jiki, you think of dumb infinite combos with Pestermite, or XR, Defeat the Seaver XR, or Resto Angel, or Zealous Conscripts, or. But in Standard, Tooth and Nail was a really powerful deck. First, because it got to play a bunch of Mana Dorks and Skull Clamp. But after that, it played Urzatron, because Urzatron was in Standard at the time. And your package for Tooth and Nail was like strong, but was never directly win on the spot. You could go Kiki Darksteel, which, that gives you either
Punch your opponent.
a hasted 11 or 2, like 33 damage on turn 2 of it. You could go Summering Titan Kiki, blow up other lands. You could go Mephidros Vampire Triskelion, which is infinite damage on creatures to wrath all creatures forever. But none of those are direct win the game combos, which made it a lot more. There's a little more push and pull with it, and I always thought that was nifty. You could come back from it. It didn't mean you lost the game on the spot. It just meant, wow, they resolved the 9-mana spell.
Glen Elendra Archmage. A card that we have many feelings about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Complicated relationship with this wizard.
I mean, the central problem of Glen Elendra Archmage is that all the things that, fight against it are way, way worse than it is.
Yeah.
Because there was a...
Hexmage.
Probably the best one was that Necrotol from my favorite set. Scars of Mirrodin.
Render.
Skin Render.
Yeah.
It's like a nice Glen Elendra Archmage.
Arch-
Skin Render, and it's actually wrecked, and it's a creature, so can't be countered by Glen Elendra. But also, I mean, as much as I like Skin Render, it's not the card. It's
Okay.
not the card for Cube.
I don't think Dark Depths is in here, but there is a thing to be said about adding Dark Depths and Thespian Stage and a couple bits with Prime Time still being in here.
And you have a Mox Diamond, which
Yeah.
I love Mox Diamond in
Ooh.
Engine.
Oh, maybe we can slip in Hollow One combo.
God, Vengevine is just.
Hold on, that
Why doesn't your cube have goblin lore in it, huh?
Where's Goblin Lore, gents?
Where's goblin lore?
That's the question we're all asking. All right.
Sulfur Elemental.
So Sulfur Elemental is a card none of y'all know what it does. I'm sure a number of you know what it does, but this is an infinitely old card that was only ever played in Standard as a way to out Spectral Procession or
This
Cloud
card-
Ranger, and then even then it could lose you the game if they had any anthem.
it had some play in Block
Legacy.
Constructed.
Ooh.
Yeah, Block Constructed at the time, one of the best decks was White Weenie, and so this having hate on white creatures was pretty big.
In Legacy, you
Couldn't be
used to
responded to thanks to the
What was
split
Moon
second.
Ponder?
Oh, you've got 3 Moon Ponder. Back in the day, you would side in your Sulfur Elemental against Death and Taxes in Legacy. Because it turns out all of their creatures were one-touch white creatures.
Oh no, man,
Wow.
Gara and Thalia, and then Split Second just says, whoops.
Moloku, our old favorite, but not the
Probably,
greatest.
yeah.
Although there's something to be said about having Moloku with Brainstorm.
Just put them away.
Just put away your lands.
Yeah, Moloku, again, I started in Champions, so this was a card I was intimately familiar with. You would resolve it, and then if you untapped with Moloku, everyone knew the game was over.
It's secretly a 6-mana spell.
Like, you didn't lose to Moloku resolving. You can just kill it. You lost to it on the untap.
Mystical Tutor. A card that usually isn't doing anything fair.
Yeah.
but It's a card disadvantage, so it's fine.
Probably the least heinous of the components.
Vendilion Click.
So here's the actual readable Vendilion Click.
A 3/1 that punches your opponent. You can just do that.
This card, if I remember the pre-release right, people were super down on this.
No one believed in it when it first got printed.
Like,
They were dumb.
people were,
Yeah.
which like, I remember making no sense because, like, with Bitter Blossom right around the corner with it, all of a sudden, Fae sort of kind of existed before Bitter Blossom, but wasn't real. Bitter Blossom made it
Everyone
real.
was like high on Mistbind Click and other stuff, and that's just
Yeah.
lost to time.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's funny how because Mistbind was a time walk on a 4/4, but
Yeah.
this is the card that has lived the last 15 years.
Oracle of Moldiah, another one of our favorites. Green card advantage. The natural way, not the...
This is a card that's been imitated so many times.
Yeah, and sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. The most recent one was in Midnight Hunt. At
Right.
Coven, you could play creatures off the top.
Oh, the Coven thing.
Yeah, or even like Corsair of Crufix.
Corsair of Crufix is a pretty big one for
Corsair's
having the
pretty good.
toughness, incidental life gain, being an enchantment for synergies.
Yeah.
Bob.
Any cost.
Mm.
There's days where like you might think like, and this is even true of like the vintage cube. There are days where you see Bob and you're like, well, like how good is Bob anyway? Like, could that be cut from the vintage cube? And then like, there are days where you play with Bob and you go, oh yeah, okay, no, I get it.
This guy still gets played in Modern every once in a while, even though Renin 6 is around. It's great.
Yeah, Dark Confidant.
Any cost.
Any cost. Greatness at any cost.
It's really wild. They really gotten it in one. There are a lot of
Yeah.
card designs from a lot of different eras that you look at and you're like, that's kind of weird. It's kind of jank. But this one is just always perfect. It was
Yeah.
perfect when it was printed, and it's perfect now.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and like the part that I love so much about it is that it's asking a question that you resolve before the game, right? Like you're the one who decides what you're putting in your deck with Bob. So like I went to a States when Time Spiral came out.
Thing.
When Time Spiral came out, I went to a States event. These were a major event that happened after the first set release of a year. And at States, I was playing black-red, like just Rakdos aggro. And like Sedge Sliver was a 4 of in that deck.
Yeah.
But another 4 of in that deck was a card called Hit Run.
Yeah, Hit and Run.
Hit and Run is a split card. Hit is red, black, 1, Edict, but it's sack an artifact or a creature, and they get domed for damage equal to mana cost. The other half is a 5 mana card that nobody's ever cast.
Yep, it's like a.
It's green, red 3. It gives +1/+0 for each attacking creature, or something like that. But it dealt you 8 damage when you revealed it off Bob.
It dealt 8 damage, but hey, you still did it.
You needed to look. I would pay 3 mana to kill their signet and deal them 2 damage. I would do that. I would, or even sometimes on some of the, there was a, Solar Flare was this deck that did reanimation. Sometimes you caught them with their pants down when they went to reanimate the Chroma and they just took 8. That was the dream. You couldn't beat a Chroma otherwise. That's why you played it.
Yeah, it tends to be the case that like a single Dark Confidant is just sort of this like steady, reliable thing. Having 2 on the battlefield is suddenly like an alternate win condition for your opponent. And
Thrun playables here.
Thrun playable.
I can't believe Thrun playable's still here.
If it's gonna be Thrun, you
physical
may as well
cards.
be
Yes,
Thrun.
hi. I'm here.
Yep.
I am.
Occasionally, you might hear some of these flicking in the background of some of the streams.
Yeah.
Maelstrom Pulse. Maelstrom Pulse is a funny card in Cube, but you do occasionally actually get to use it. Like it gets tokens. It's fine.
Yeah. Now don't worry. Everybody knows how I look because I just am.
You're on CBI
I'm on
raid.
CBI raid. Everybody already. It was very funny to me when I first started streaming. It was one of those things where it's like, all right, I'm not like kind of like keep a bit of a wall between Slyo and Jens. And then, like, after I won Netrunner Worlds, that wasn't possible anymore.
Right.
It just
designed by a 2013 world champion.
People were watching the stream and saw me. I would go to messes out, just saw me in a stream physically. So, where is my? So I can't put a CBI raid up on camera right now. No, this deck box has Yu-Gi-Oh cards in it.
Yeah.
What's this? But I can't put a CBI raid on camera because
You'll be sued.
no, my most of my collection is like.
It's still in the back of your car.
No, it's not in my possession. Dakota
Hmm.
has most of our physical collection. So
I think I must have a CBI raid kicking
just
around.
like
Hold on, I can go get one if you want.
like maybe I know. Yeah, I know there's over there's a box of like cards that are Netrunner cards. Let me hold on. I'll be right back. Wins VTuber Slyo, it would just be a mole drifter going bum, 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 bum.
No, it's just the card CBI raid, but we like make the mouth go.
All right, be back in a second here.
Although a mill drifter isn't a terrible idea for that. Anyway, yeah, that story is funnier for me as far as like me having a CBI raid in my possession because I don't play Netrunner. Got it just because my friend is on it.
You got it.
Thought that was really cool.
The Slyo is on it. Plus, we both had input onto that card's design.
That's true. I guess we can talk about that now.
Yeah.
Now that it's years and years later.
Yeah, 8 or 9 years after the
Is
fact.
it are we finally out of NDA territory?
I don't think there ever was NDA territory.
I think it was
Basically,
just understood.
Skype. It was in Skype.
We
were a
talking
Skype
in
group,
Skype.
and we talked about what kind of effects we would want on an invitational card. And eventually we came upon stunted growth.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought about stunted growth. We thought about plow under, but there's no way to make plow under. I remember he wanted it to be gamble, but the current design theory of the time was that would not be an allowable effect for Anarch to ever have tutors.
So here,
Ooh, Netrunner.
there's a box. This art here is Vulcan Cover Up, which is also the mat that is the 2013 Worlds mat. And this has crap.
It has basics in it.
Incinerate. All right, hold on. What's in here? The hell is this box?
There's your incinerate for your textless incinerate right there.
Pulse of the Forge.
Ooh,
Oh,
Pulse of
yeah.
the Forge.
The Forge. Another incinerate. These are all in sleeves? That's weird.
Yeah, they're all in sleeves for some reason. This must have been a deck of some kind.
Pulse of the Forge? Incredible.
Gin Illuminatus.
Yeah, we love Gin Illuminatus.
Incinerate. Pyromancer's Swath.
Yeah, Pyromancer Swath.
Well,
Lightning Bolt.
like I'm sensing a
char.
central theme here.
A Crawl Space. Swath. Char. Care Keep.
Hey,
Oh
Karakee.
my god.
Hellkite Charger. Desert.
Desert.
Char. Okay, so this box does not contain Netrunner cards. Let's try another of the Netrunner boxes.
Karakee is a very special card to me because some of my oldest friends I am still in contact with met on
Is this a silhouette?
a split off of MTG Salvation that was called Karakee. That's where a friend of the show, Ryan Overturf, posted there.
On
Gross.
Kirkkeep.
Yeah, on Karakee.
This is just boxes of rares. This might be... I think these might be Dakota's. I think I have his magic cards.
They were Netrunner boxes.
All right,
right, you
hold
gotta
on.
hold up
Star
the
Wars.
space somehow.
Okay, so
That
here's this is a box from that one time I went and played a Star Wars game on camera.
your Death Star
like
looks
designed
like
the deck on the way over.
your Death Star looked like an 8-ball because it had an 8 coming out of
Right.
its hole.
Yep, I lost a shield counter. Hold on. Weirdly enough, I'm not finding any.
Oh yeah, that's the great part about collectible card games in general is that the work of organizing your collection is never done.
So this is these are some Game of Thrones cards. But as you might see, they have like some stickers on them because they're playtesting for when I was doing playtesting for Netrunner. So there's not Netrunner cards, but they're playtest Netrunner cards that were being playtested to see if they were busted or not. And here we have, again, so this is what, like, looking at my collection of stuff is like. This is just, like, what cards are to me. Like, they're all wildly all over the place, you know, and just, that's how it is. Oh, I found a Netrunner card.
Hey, sweet.
There we go.
The Shaper Ident.
That's Haley. Haley
The old
Kaplan.
ones.
First time you install a card, you can install a card of the same card type.
Paying all costs.
But the thing I found over here, and this is
Is that the first Shaper Ident?
no, this was one of the best ones though. Kate McCaffrey was.
Kate.
So,
that's right.
what we got here? Kalitas?
Kalitas.
Ugh.
Kalitas is cube worthy.
What a
Geo-
Or
Alright.
a Master of Depth is not.
And you might figure out what this is from.
Ooh.
As well as my 3 months of Star City Premium that they gave me when I played in Grand Prix, Washington, D.C. The team event that we played in. So, yeah, that's one.
You'll forgive me if I am a little frustrated about the memory of that.
I know, I understand.
There is exactly one story that is central to the whole thing.
Yeah.
A lot of other stuff happened that day. We had a good draft that day where
All right, what do we got
I
here?
had this really messed up deck where I
Okay, I'm on.
cast
I-
part the Water Veil for its Awaken cost in a deck that had like basically no blue in it.
So
I
this
hate to be the party pooper here, but we will be here for 10 days.
okay, if I do this for okay, let's. You're right.
So,
Thank you for.
Yeah, that
You
That
we
is the
probably
point.
have a lot of cards, but there's 540 here that we're interested
Yeah, okay, let's,
in.
thank you. Alright, back to what we were doing. Let's take a look at...
Hey, it's Kaiga again.
Mm.
Yeah.
And this is sort of central to why I said before that the work of sorting your collection is never done.
Never
You get
done.
into little
Yeah, managed to keep my TCG hobby to just Magic. I have not. Again,
No.
I'm surrounded. Right around me, I have the Cube, Pokemon cards, Netrunner cards, Star Wars cards, Game of Thrones cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards. A few games.
We're going to have to play a whole lot more Netrunner because we're going to have to win Worlds again.
Yeah, I'm not doing that this year because it's in person in Canada. And I don't have the time to take off for that.
We'll have to do it. No, that's good. Sundering Titan. That's what I wanted to tinker into.
Yeah.
And then this actually good. It means we have a year to enter the hyperbolic time chamber.
Good. Sundering Titan, as I mentioned, was a win condition in Tooth and Nail back in the day and has been a hell of a card ever since.
It's occasionally a card you still see play. Predictor time. It's actually still getting played. There's versions of Cabal Coffers that play Karn. Ooh. Wait, I have that one. Do I have that one? No, I don't have that one. What is my...
Arrows dice?
Where do I spin down? I have two of them here.
Buying packs of online cards still give you codes for your online client? Yeah, there's a new online client for Pokemon in the works. Oh, wow.
Own Shredder.
Shredder.
You know, I really love going... this is well worth going through because I've seen at least a dozen cards I thought I removed from the cube, you know?
But Bone Shredder is convenient in certain decks because he kills himself. Phantasmal Image. Okay, my spin down dice are like a history of me playing in Magic release events. Because one of them is Future Sight. And then the other one, many, many years to New Innistrad. Not Midnight Hunt, New Innistrad.
Oh, God.
So that was the gap of me playing a limited event. Hangerback Walker. An interesting one.
Hangarback Walker.
Yeah, it's with an A there.
Yes. Yeah. What the hell?
Lightning Mauler.
Holy smokes.
Lightning Mauler's not a bad card.
Yeah.
It's just a blast from the past.
Right, that's what going through this is. Because Hangerback, so again, friend of the show, Ryan Overturf, has been writing a series of articles about the top 10 cubable cards. Not just best cards in one cube, but overall. So strong things popper considerations, power level considerations for being too good are, but Hangerback is, I think, was number 4 on the artifact section. With Walkie Bee being...
Yeah, every time you get a Hangerback Walker, usually you kind of wish it was Walking Ballista, but it's still pretty good.
Oh!
Inferno Titan. Inferno Titan, not anywhere near as good as Primeval Titan in Constructed, but is maybe the best Titan in Limited.
Yeah. All right.
Inferno Titan gets shit done in Cube.
There's a blood.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a Necrotol. And then it keeps going. And it fire breathes.
Tristani is definitely cube playable if we're talking about the 5-mana 1/4. If we're talking about other Tristani,
or whatever.
If we're talking about 7-mana Tristani from Dragon's Maze, nobody remembers that card. But yeah,
Impulse.
But yes, Tristani is even in
in Mega Cube.
Mega Cube because it's it is an anti-control card. No theft can occur while it's in play. As well
what was
as
the impulse they printed into Standard several times? They kind of gave up on that card. Yeah, they gave up on Anticipate.
Ooh, this is one of my favorites of all time.
Blade Splicer. Wait, are you telling me the Blade Splicer fan might have built a mid-range cube?
Are you telling me this blade has splices? Oh, here's the card that was supposed to be Tristani.
Voice of Resurgence.
So Voice of Resurgence and the 5/7 that says damage can't be prevented, or you can't damage creature tokens, were going to be swapped, and like that was, and they ended up making this Voice of Resurgence and that one Tristani, which made Tristani a bit of a joke, and this one of the only cards of value in Dragon's Maze. This card is very powerful.
Makes Brainstorm pretty embarrassing.
Makes a lot of things embarrassing.
It's good old-fashioned hate bears.
Oh, it's being a good old-fashioned.
Nah, sick slime. But you do like Slime Ball.
Yeah. Always love this card for being able to hit lands. Always find that
love
important.
blowing up lands.
Ooh.
Look,
This
Courtyard.
is a good cycle.
A fast land.
Wasn't Tristani was whoever the Maze Runner was? I thought Tristani was the... Oh, God. Dragon's Maze sucked. Amara.
Amara? Who the hell is that?
Amara Tandis was a character in Dragon's Maze. I've said Tristani too many times. I'm thinking of the newest one. Amara Tandis was a character in Dragon's Maze who, like, worked with Jace to complete the Dragon's Maze. And I don't remember anything else about.
How could you call Dragon's Maze bad, though, when it had Fido Burst in it?
I can't. I mean, there we are. That's the... Who's to say
Fido
if it's
Burst,
good or
Spell
bad?
Animist.
That's sort of the embarrassing part of these. It's like,
Ooh, Griffball.
if the limited format is good, it's going to have like a terrible story that's very embarrassing.
Now, see,
If
I
the
don't think the
story's
limited-
good,
Dragon Maze was a bad limited format as well, but it had Fido Burst in it. Urza's Rage. Urza's
Oh,
Rage
wow.
is weird. I don't know if it's good. It's fun, though.
I think Urza's Rage stayed around for a lot longer than it would have otherwise because of the original art having like a mech on it,
Yeah.
and like this mech warrior art.
The-
It's like, oh,
There's
what's going on here, really?
There's an art they showed off today again for Dominaria United for Urza Assembles the Titans, which is Urza, like, you know, in this conflict, Urza grabbing like Freyalise, Lord Windgrace, all these big planeswalkers, and then having them get in mech suits and go beat up the Phyrexians, because that's actually what happened in that set. Like, it's messed up
That
as
is
hell.
actually what happened, yeah. Urza did a lot of weird stuff. Marshall.
Ooh,
This is a wrath.
Marshall coup.
Like, he invented a race of blue people to be his soldiers. They might have been driving.
Okay.
It's Wrath of God.
So, wow, this is like a new fancy one. It's got the dot. The Wrath of God I used to have in here was my favorite Wrath of God, where when they would print a core set for the longest time, they were all white bordered, with the exception of if the core set was being printed into a new language as the first set, as the first core set, they would print it in black border. So this meant that Russian, God, was it Russian 9th edition or Russian 10th edition? Was black bordered. And so I had a playset of black bordered Wrath of Gods from that set, which
Excellent.
was, but like, I ended up replacing it because I didn't want a Russian card in here, even though if it was Wrath of God. I want one of the things that kept coming up with playing this at MagFest.
We would
Was
play this with non-magic
a
people.
lot of people that wanted to play at MagFest. This was the one time they played Magic a year, and they do have to read cards. They don't know what like.
I don't know what Searing Blaze does.
Oh wow!
That's the card that won me that
Archangel Avacyn. How about it?
Yeah, I opened an Archangel Avacyn in my pool at that limited pre-release. That wasn't the only reason my deck was good either. That deck was stupidly powerful. I had that green bear that 8.5 tails. You can't remove
Ugh.
swords if you keep 8.5
I love
tails.
8.5 tails.
Oh lord.
There's like a green grizzly bear with 3 and a white. Give something double strike. Give a human double strike. That thing was stupid.
We're getting into some deck going on here.
Yona. Okay.
Yona. Mm-hmm.
8.5 tails has been problematic since it existed for like really, really drilling down what protection meant.
Yep.
Um
Yeah, love 8.5 tails.
Gideon.
Original Gideon.
OG Gideon.
Just-
Dead Gideon.
So we
Love
make
this Gideon.
we make a lot of jokes about Gideon. Gideon's added a couple cards that have been jokes. Gideon the Luchador is probably the biggest joke one. Champion of Justice. I'm pretty sure that was it, right? Gideon Champion. I just think of it as Gideon the Luchador because that's a Luchador title, right?
Yeah, Los Championes de Justicieros.
Yeah.
We love that movie.
Yeah. But this Gideon, incredible.
Yeah, Gideon Jura is AI affecting, literally.
Yeah.
Chandra Pyro. If you don't have Chandra Flame of
Torch of Defiance.
Torch of Defiance, you then here. Thou
I think I might not because Kaladesh was, again, I barely added cards from Kaladesh.
yeah. But that's
Yeah,
the
but
better
That's the
than
good
Pyro
Chandra,
has
yeah.
been. The Chandra Jace.
Oh.
Brimstone Volley, huh?
Brimstone Volley.
Boy.
A card that gets to live on in Cube.
5 damage.
It does?
Yeah, I think Cube is like the one place this card anybody ever cared about. Actually, is there like a popper deck?
There's got to be a popper deck that cares about that card, right? Like, oh boy.
Wheel
Wheel.
of Fortune.
Here's a white bordered card for you.
Yeah.
What
a good one. We got it. By the way, this is what the stack looks like down here now.
That's 116 cards.
Yep.
Oh boy.
That's a quarter, probably.
Hmm.
Give or take.
Spin the wheel for my treasure.
Okay,
cake.
so we might be
Oh,
able
my
to do
friends
this
are
in
rather
3
shaky.
total sessions if we really want to.
I'm having fun with it. I like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, bolt.
Bolt.
I mean, the only actual problem is that you might want the actual entry into Cube Cobra done in more of a timely fashion. Than
Probably.
that,
Ooh. Cat Path. Cat Path.
but-
Cat Path. Cat Path's real important to me. Cat Path comes from the Pro Tour I played in Kyoto, where I drafted the Path because it was
That's primo.
it was shards limited pre all are born, so it had this little cute cat stamp on it. That Pro Tour went well. I placed high enough to qualify for the next Pro Tour and played in Honolulu, and then qualified for Worlds based on rating, being 48th in North America. I cursed myself, like back in 2019. I was having a conversation with Ryan where I was talking about Magic and thought, this would be a really good time to, jump back into competitive Magic. Let's, I'd love to get back and go to some events physically and get, back into playing Magic. And, it's been so long I haven't gone to events. And then 2020 occurred. So that didn't happen.
Although, lucky for you.
It may have been a good thing.
Ooh, Karmic Guy.
Because that
Not
format.
only could have been a good thing, but also competitive Magic was dead at that point.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was impossible to get into high-level Magic. It's been impossible to get into high-level Magic until, hopefully, now. Now is the time to get back into
Ooh.
Magic. No blade hole. I've actually modestly thought about it, trying to play a little bit of competitive Magic, just because I've armchaired quarterbacked myself, where I've seen a lot of really good Magic players, like Hall of Famers, streaming, and watched them played horribly. And like I'm calling plays that they're completely missing.
They ain't so tough. Yeah,
They
it's
ain't
kind of
so
the
tough.
classic streaming thing.
But, I thought about it.
Oh,
I'm okay. But no, I'm not better than okay.
hi.
Cheeky.
The unreplaceable.
Funnily enough, Fable is a pretty goddamn strong card. Not a replacement, but like it does some weird things that this doesn't.
If you're not going to have Kiki combo in the cube, you could just have a Fable in there as a
Yeah, Fable the Mirror
replacement.
Breaker would be good.
Oh, wow.
Bone
Giant.
Crusher Giant.
Wow.
A Necrotal.
I probably replaced Incinerate with this card.
Another kind of instant classic, the damage can't be prevented thing kind of sneaks in there.
Okay, we're starting to...
Starting to even out a little bit.
Oh!
Ah, Gisela.
Blade of the Gold Knight.
So
this might be Aurelia Mentor.
The last time I played Cube, I know what this deck... This is from Luke's deck when we played Cube last. Because Luke resolved this card and then hell occurred. Because we were playing a 4-player multiplayer game, and Gisela in a multiplayer game is
EDH Classic.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, the EDH Classic of two different players having Gisela out and introducing magical rounding errors to reality.
Sure.
Yeah,
But what's that new Aurelia called?
Aurelia Mentor...
New finger quotes.
Mentor Heroes or whatever? I don't know, the Mentor.
Ooh.
Face Fetters.
Exemplar of Justice.
Exemplar.
So,
yes.
Face Fetters...
That's how you teach, by example.
Face Fetters was printed in original Ravnica, was an incredible card in Constructed and Limited. Like, very, very strong. Answered all sorts of things, gained you life, answered things in a way that, like, they couldn't be reused or, cause problems. Maybe you put this on a GT. Putting this on a GT, Legend rule meant it was super freaking hard to put another GT into play because you had to kill your own GT, then play a third. Because of how Legend rule worked. This card was printed in Ravnica, rotated with the existence of Lorwyn, and then took like 15 years to reprint. When this says enchant permanent and is like the perfect planeswalker answer.
Yes.
I was always just so like there was a 5-year period where planeswalkers were unstoppable, and it's like, boy howdy, wonder if they could print some card that would give colors away to.
Yeah, I mean, early on they didn't want the word planeswalker to appear on anything that wasn't a walker. And I think Face Fetters, even though it doesn't say that, has a little bit of splash damage from that.
A quick note. If you took Incinerate out of your cube and left Searing Spear in, that's
well, I'll put that in the comments. I'll put that in the comment section. Thank you. Thank you for your feedback on this. I'm noting your feedback. And we're going to move on.
Lightning Strike next.
Spear of Helia. I know us as a group have done a lot of work with Spear of Heliod and Whip of Erebos, and maybe
Hammer
Bident.
Oh,
I don't know how much hammer. How much hammering?
I got
have
a
we
lot
done?
of mileage out of Hammer. But
I played Whip and Constructed.
Yeah, I know Whip was our favorite. I think
I would whip back a Frag Tusk and attack for 5 and gain 5 and gain 5 and make a 3/3, and my opponent would go, what? The rule. Like, your life total's what? Yes!
Hell Rider.
Here's Hell Rider.
Hell Dude.
Do you have a Soul Seer? Maybe.
Soul Seer.
Soul Scar Mage, I'm assuming. Or
Is Soul Seer sounds like it could be a man. I'm gonna look it up.
It is a magic
Soul
card.
Seer.
Oh my god. M21?
Deals 3 mana, 5 to a creature or planeswalker, loses indestructible until end of turn.
oh no! Oh, okay, no, that's way too new for this.
Oh, Ajani Vengeance.
I asked the question like yesterday. Has there ever been like a popular good Ajani? This was played a lot. It's
Weird
This was
card.
definitely played. Yeah.
This is when they were toying around with what land destruction could be.
So if readable. +1 starts on 3. +1 target permanent doesn't untap. -2 Helix. -7 Armageddon target player.
Yes.
Holy smokes, this card was good. It was also worked as like planeswalker removal. You'd play it, dome their dome their walker. It could kill it if it wasn't like too big. Garrick was usually the
Police Bane Lion. Police Bane Lion still might be like
this is probably good enough, yeah. I think this replaced Watch Wolf straight up a while back, I remember.
Yeah. There might be a green-white beater better than Fleece Mane, but they're not immediately coming to mind. Alish Norn. Now, there's certainly a card that has not been replaced.
Never will be.
No card does what this.
Yeah.
This card does.
It's hard to imagine them printing a white card that does this.
Crovax is the closest you get.
Yeah, the part that kills me about this card, there's not a black card that does this. The closest that exists, like Crovax is -1/+1, but even it has restrictions of like black and white and non-black creatures, which means it can benefit your opponent. Massacre Worm, maybe kind of sort of, you blink a little bit. How many cards is this cube? That's one of the things we're going to learn by putting the cube in the gear. Because I don't know anymore. I think it was designed as 450 or something like that, but I no longer know the answer to that question, so...
Alish Norn is holding a scythe. It's her head. Fauna Shaman.
Fauna Shaman's still good.
Never the card you want, but always good enough, usually.
Stoneforge.
Stoneforge. Banned in Modern at one point.
Banned in Standard.
Pre-banned. Banned in Standard for good reason.
Banned in Standard Asterisk.
Yeah, the asterisk on that is always funny.
Another card got it banned, and
this
late
was
into its life cycle.
So MTG finance speculation has been a thing for eternity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, reserved list.
Yeah. This card was the safest buy in the universe. If you wanted to like just make infinite money, because on release, this is in World Wake. At the time of World Wake, we know that like Mirrodin is coming back. And there's no goddamn way we're going to Mirrodin and not getting like more swords. This card was like, maybe a $2 to $3 rare. And you could just buy like dozens of them. And then it jumped up to huge amounts of money and then got banned.
Poor Batterskull. They decided that I want to make my cool Batterskull card, and I'm not going to let another card decide how good that card can be. One of the famous off-colored dorks. For some reason, it gets to be better than Elves of Deep Shadow.
I mean, because it was designed like
15
or 20 years later than that.
Yeah.
Not that long. It was Innistrad to
Ravnica was a reprint. The Dark.
Yeah, the Dark. Yeah.
It was a reprint from the Dark.
They also had Dark Heart of the Wood as like another.
Yeah.
Spectrum Recession, I remember, was like a famously roasted card during the spoiler season. At the time, I remember one of the only pieces of like consistent Magic content was Evan Irwin on the Magic Show, because this is the year. This is like who's doing YouTube content in the year 2009, right?
Yeah.
But I still remember like the derogatory 3 dudes seriously, like, wow, this card sucks, and then like, oh, what if it's like maybe the best thing possible for mono white, because Windbrisk Heights is a card. So Mirrodin,
a aggro card, a combo card, a mid-range card, all in one. It slices, it dices, it kills all your creatures, it makes them 10/10. Whatever you want, it does it.
It does none of those things terribly well.
No, it kills all your creatures. Great.
Oh no, it's really good at that one. Yeah, you lose to Mind Slaver is what happens.
Oh yeah.
The Gear Hulk worth keeping in.
Yeah.
This and Torrential Gear Hulk are probably
Yeah.
fine.
Oh, it would be great to have like, boy, a cycle of cycles of fake Titans, including a real Titan.
Like you have a
like,
soul, you have a Gear Hulk.
Yeah, a soul,
a
a
soul.
Gear Hulk. A Cavalier.
Oh shit, you're right. So so it's like green. Do we do like the best or the worst in the cycle? Like, what are we aiming?
Well, I think I would want to keep Verder's Gear Hulk for that, but I would want like limited playable version, like the not Soul of
Gales.
Shield. Like Inferno Titan needs to be
Yeah.
the
Or
kept
maybe
one, 'cause it,
how
like,
about-
does the
yeah,
job.
one of the like metallic dragons or something. What were they? What were the ones called?
God.
Kasali Pride Mage whips.
Holy smoke. So, Chrysali Pride Mage, I remember, like, again, Watchwolf was like the lion, and Pride Mage just eats the lion. Like, just. They kept trying to make a creature that naturalized. And, like, we had this kind of, like, going down the line of, like, in Mirrodin, there's a 2-mana 2/1 for green that has green 1 sack naturalize. And like we have this progression of like continuously trying to print like more playable versions of that. And this is where we end up at is this and like Brontodon, the 3/4.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
We're actually Brontodon and Night of Autumn. Which is like,
nowadays there's Core
Skyfisher.
Fisher.
Yeah, this one
Excellent
is
card.
signed.
Signed.
And this is also a foil.
It's signed by Dad.
Dana.
Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad.
Or, like,
Yeah, it's Dad. But what am I thinking of? What's that guy called? The werewolf that's Kasali Pride Mage. If you wolf out, it does it on attack.
Oh,
That's the new one.
speaking of wolves.
There's wolf. There's wolf.
Garrook Relentless.
What's
From
that
the
guy
era where
called?
it was unthinkable for a planeswalker to have a single pip.
Eric is still alive.
Well,
He got uncursed.
yeah. I know he did, but he's been character assassinated. Look, he's been replaced by like 2 different, more popular green planeswalkers, so we don't need him. And if you're going green-black, you have Vraska too. Like the niche is filled. We don't need Garuks.
I think the niche is not filled. I think we need a creature feature green planeswalker again. One that has a overrun on it. Not stupid card advantage stuff. Vivian.
I love to see birds with a sword right here, by the way.
Yeah, that shows you what was happening.
I wonder who was doing what with this pile, huh? Temple of something or other.
Although, maybe you're right. Garrick never ate slugs, so is he really
No,
worthy?
right? The problem going back to forever was the helmet.
No, the helmet makes him cool. It's like
No,
Estinian Wormblood.
No, you
Remember
got
when Estinian Wormblood was hot as fuck when he kept the helmet off? He takes the helmet off and you see his weird face and you lose all of the appeal.
you're doing opposite work. The problem with Gideon and with the helmet is that you can't see his face. Not Gideon, Garuk.
Garrick.
I can't even remember his name.
No, the helmet is his face, Cass.
That's exactly the problem. It's like
No, it's
were
the
trying to make him-
strongest point.
what Green Batman or something, and it's just
Ooh.
Huntmaster. Huntmaster's probably over the line now.
Yeah, I played this at Worlds and it was very medium, incredibly medium.
Gruel 4 drops.
It caused this card. I believe it was this card that caused Sam Black to be disqualified from the event.
Oh no.
For like, I'm fairly certain it was literally just a miscommunication between 2 players. It wasn't any like sharking or anything like that. It was just like this card has like it's like you tap your wolves and then they deal damage back. And I think like somebody thought it was a May effect or something like that, and like there was a confusion about it, and it just resulted in
Failure to
Sam
maintain
being
board state.
yeah.
And it might have been angle shooting. Who knows?
I don't think it wasn't beneficial in any way. It was oh god, I forgot this card existed.
Yeah,
Yay,
once
once upon a time. One of
Almost
those-
unprinted.
Yeah.
Legal and Legacy.
I literally forgot that I flipped this up and went, what? Like,
Yeah.
Here's how you know this card's busted. You know what card plays it in Legacy? Or what deck plays it in Legacy?
Dredge.
It's Dredge.
Yeah.
So when your card's being played in Dredge, you know nothing good is happening. Wall of Roots.
Wall of Roots. This
Gets
one's
played-
still
Still good.
Still gets the
played
job
modern.
done.
It's old and
Yawgmoth.
weird. You can activate it during your opponent's turn for some reason.
There was
Good with Convoke.
back way back, there was a player who showed up to an event and built a deck claiming that they could activate the card infinite times in between turns.
Ah.
Yes.
Of
Because you can
course.
only use it once each turn, but if it's the in-between step, I can activate it
If I-
infinite time.
If I
Yeah,
step sideways and enter nature's perfect
In-
harmonic
right,
time
in
No,
cube.
half
no
a
magic-
press.
Yeah, known magic phase between turns.
Right, the half a press of cards.
Mhm.
So I always think about that.
And then, I guess, do what in that non-time where no one has priority, I wonder.
Hollowed Spirit Keeper.
Yes, I
fine,
thought
aggressive card.
I thought it was saying to prelay number 2 as well. I was very confused when I saw this. I was like, wait, did I put it double? Oh,
Excuse.
one of the original so True Name Nemesis over here and Scoos were the original like busted legacy cards that got introduced into legacy from a side product.
But then they printed SKUs into a real format. And
Yeah.
they will not do that with
True Name will
True
defi-
Name because it sucks. Unless they decide Solitude is too good, then they can ruin their format if they want to.
Ooh,
Batterskull.
here it
Scully.
is. We just talked
Although
about
Modern is like their most popular format right now, so they really don't want to mess it up.
right.
Is? Oh. Good for them, I guess.
Oh, hey, finally! I knew we were gonna run into a Garrick sooner or later.
Primal Hunter.
Big Garrick.
There's a comma on this
G.
one. Oh my god!
Is it?
Wait, can I put the Garuk 20 in
put that-
here?
Can you put Big Garuk in here? Biggest Garuk?
Biggest Garuk.
Yeah, Flusterstorm didn't get printed into Modern until Modern Horizons 2, though. Although it was a good include. Oblivion Ring.
Oblivion Ring.
One thing that is usually true in Magic is it's okay to print efficient answers and less good to print efficient threats. That's really why I don't like the pitch elementals, because they're both.
Yeah, the
Mm.
O-Ring was printed at a time when people thought white was unplayable because time is a flat circle. Back during Time Spiral block, white was under assault because the best thing that white could do, like for a while, was just Wrath of God. And then they printed Damnation. So what are you doing playing white in your control deck anymore? Especially after Ravnica, where they went out of their way to make Azorius suck. Like, in the sense that they did not want Azorius to be the control guild, even though at that time blue-white was associated with the control colors. So they got no playable cards for that deck, whereas Dimir definitely got playable cards for control tools in there. Weirdly enough, Dimir House Guard was a constructed playable card because it could tutor for any 4. But O-Ring was, in Lorwyn, was one of the first signs of, wait, this is something white can do that nobody else gets. And they've printed O-Ring a million times since, or Banishing Light, or,
Yeah.
you know.
It's gotten a lot of...
And then Elspeth was another, return
Boy.
on that.
Blue-black control back then. Do you remember Dralnu control?
Dralnu Deluge.
That was like the thing. And nowadays you just have like this
Snapcast.
Dungeons and Dragons person who just does all that without a cost, really. Just
Augustus.
what was the Dungeons and Dragons person who does that?
Well, I'm just
That's
thinking
what?
of Snapcaster Mage. Like,
No, I mean, yeah, well, not even Snapcast, but the big
Bigby?
one who's like Lear. Is it just called Lear? I think it is. Like Lyr.
oh, the one that can flashback anything but counter
Right,
spells.
'cause- Right.
Yeah.
So, just kind of what has happened to magic and where creatures have come in the meantime.
Soldier of the Pantheon.
Another thing
Yeah.
about where magic has come. You used
Yeah,
to
you got-
only get like 1 cost, 2 ones at rare, and only occasionally, and they had like
Might be able,
fringe upsides.
might be able to do this in 2. It looks like.
Yeah, could do this
Hmm.
too. We're getting there.
Look at this big
But you-
chunk, because this is what's.
Yeah, I mean,
that-
it's good that we don't have a lot of things to say about literally every card that
Right.
exists. I mean,
Well,
oh, Lear was new Innistrad? Okay.
Yeah, he was new at Distraught.
I thought it was for sure.
oh,
a
Treachery.
hell,
D&D
there's
Ah, Siege Gang.
spoilers.
treachery.
Treachery, messed up card.
Yep.
Uh,
Very powerful.
Well known as one of the best first picks in any cube it's in.
You're never going to betray you.
Yeah. Oh,
Diabolic Edict.
Diabolic Edict.
A pretty well loved Diabolic. You got some corner bashing on that. And that's fine. This
Yep.
is not a card you should care about.
yeah,
It's
no,
this is a card meant to be killed. Meant to kill. Card from Tempest ought to have a few love taps on it.
Oh,
Bribery.
somebody was drafting a really, really stupid deck here.
I think this might have. That wasn't me. I did draft this deck one of the last times I played this cube, but you've played with it since I touched this. But this is definitely my style of deck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
with that
Hmm.
as well.
Good old
This.
indicate.
You. This was this, right?
This.
This.
Target. Inquisition. A card that is a staple but impossible to reprint because we're never going to have Kozilek back ever again because he's dead.
Yep.
And they can't print this effect again because you would then get to play
Extra-
it. So the only way they could ever do this is if they print it into a core set. Imagine just a random core set with Inquisition of Kozilek in it.
I think it would be all right. They just changed the name, like with Elvish Mystic.
No, they give it.
They can't because then modern and legacy decks could play another 4 copies of Inquisition.
I
Not that they-
don't think that would mess anything up.
Not that they would
frankly.
want to, but
I mean, they already have like Thoughtseize there anyway.
yeah, they have master sets, but
Like-
they're not gonna. That's not gonna get it into Pioneer if they ever want to
Hmm.
do Pioneer. Glorious Wake, a good card.
Another card that I think of might just be outdated for cube size, but
If you have 5 mana Nissa, that's basically better.
Hmm.
Ooh, Azorius Charm.
Now, that is a charm that is never at a loss for a trick. Yeesh.
yeah.
Do the Ikoria thing and have Godzilla's Inquisition.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. Yeah, like you put a secret, another name on it. And,
Resto. You got Blue Dress Resto.
yep. Very happy about this. This was a promo, which made Resto very easy to get. There were enough, like anytime you had like a release promo like this, it was very helpful in making a card that should have been like a $20 card, not. A Johnny Vengeance, for instance, was super overprinted as a promo.
Pioneer is not actually. Pioneer is A, kind of good right now. Also, B, it's what they're going to be playing in the Pro Tour. So, yes, people are playing a lot of Pioneer, trying to. It's actually fine.
Flip
Especially-
5 coins.
Yeah. Flip. You won the flip.
There we go.
Especially now, as Modern becomes more and more legacy like, it's good to have a format that's not that. And you'll be refreshed at playing Eternal format without fetch lands. Don't have to shuffle your fucking deck like every 2 seconds. Pia. You got Siege Gang and then Mini Siege Gang.
do we have middle Siege Gang? Is the next card PN Kieran?
So,
Yeah,
Pia Nalar is a this is a funny card. There are search terms in Scryfall for what the card art depicts.
Okay.
And you can search by things like, is it a Dutch angle? Or you can also search for, does the art contain a mother? And Pia Nalar doesn't qualify because there's no visual indication from the art itself that a mother is in the art.
But
because this is things like
oh my God.
a mother hugging a child or holding a child's hand, or
but then Mother of
carrying
Rouge
a
doesn't
baby.
count because Mother of Rouge just has a coffee cup.
That's wild. This is a character who is a mom.
Yep.
Okay.
Look, I don't make the rules.
Oh, okay.
Skyfall.
All right.
Search by art
Oh,
composition.
damn it. Well,
Greatest Gargledon.
one of my favorites.
We do love. Well, if mothers drink coffee, then that makes Experimental Frenzy a mom card. Blood Knight.
Wow. Blood Knight. How can you not love this guy?
Yep.
Ravaging Ravine.
Yeah,
Also,
Den Protector does meet that tag and does show up in the, art contains mom.
So Colonnade got outclassed by Paul the Storm Giant.
Yep.
Ravine has been outclassed by Den of the Bugbear.
Oh, yeah.
But because Jund players have been registering the same 75 for 15 years, they have not gotten the memo.
It's true. Like, I had a friend at the local card shop who bought foil Jund.
Foil Jund. That's what it is.
That's the Jund player in a nutshell. Is
you foil out your Jund 75,
and then it never can't change.
And then you play 40% against the field for the rest of your life.
You can't ever edit the deck. Also, you've now spent $5,000 because Jund is not a cheap deck in the first place.
With your Tarmogoyfs and your Liliana's, a 1-mana 2/1.
Falcon Wrath Gorger.
All right, that's
each vampire creature card
has madness.
Sure. For that vampire stuff. Oh man, remember that update? What cube did they update where they're like, we didn't really know what to do with black, so we went with the vampire.
Oh god! Yeah, where they just made black unplayable. We put Vampire Nocturnus and a bunch of garbage vampires in this cube because we didn't really know what to do with black. It's like, okay.
The Count Chocula himself, Vampire Nocturnus.
On Hammer Clan.
Koth.
I love Koth von Hammerclan. There was a reprint, not a reprint, a printing of Liliana. It was like Liliana of Dark Reaches or something, where she had nothing to do with zombies and everything to do with swamps. And I was really hoping that instead of having it be Liliana, they would just have made it Koth, because Koth was the mountain man. Each of his abilities prominently featured, mountain. And so if something, character-wise happens to him, he gets corrupted or darkened or whatever, or maybe he has a cousin, who knows? There's lots of things that you can do.
Is that Aftershock? What is that?
This is
Earthquake.
This is just Earthquake.
It's just Earthquake.
I thought it was Aftershock for a second. What's the
count of Wait You're In Here cards? Probably like 20, 25. I feel like we've...
Oh no, do we need to get a soundboard or something?
Black Sun. That's my favorite Zenith.
Not green?
Nope. I like Black Sun. Green Sun's is better.
Okay, this is
A combo, yeah. Yeah, Green Sun is better than Black Sun, but Black Sun is cooler.
So I
suppose.
I adore this card. You play it with E-Witness for dumb loops forever.
It's Fireball.
You fireball your opponent. You say, I choose all legal targets to game your opponent. There's an angle shoot with this card. There's a mode on here nobody remembers.
Fear.
Up to X target creatures gain fear until end of turn. There's a unknown event where a player went, all right, I will dome you for 5, and I will give fear to all legal targets on my side. Because their board contained a Chameleon Colossus that needed to get through unblocked, but they couldn't give it fear. But if they said, I give fear to all legal targets and then immediately swing in, your opponent will not think that about the blocks and will just say, all right, I scoop.
What is your our favorite play like that has to be Spell Pierce, right?
Oh God.
Over turf play. Just confidently spell piercing in Anger of the Gods.
Yeah.
If you look like you're supposed to be there, they won't notice. Borborygmos, that's another fun one. I think that was Bradley Carpenter, Pithing Needle to Borborygmos.
Oh yeah.
That's the kind of thing that makes me furious. I don't think that any of these stories should really be celebrated. Sorry, Ryan.
No, they're not celebrated. No, they're not Ryan
like,
was like making legal plays, like being like, okay,
Yeah.
well, I have no outs, so what? Whereas Bob was angle shooting.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel the two are.
He wanted to win. So
I feel the two are in slightly different categories. One is just confidently state your play, and the other is sort of the old
one is
who remembers Esper Charm
Yeah,
targeting myself.
that's Esper Charming, or it's like. Yeah, Borborygmos did get a rules change, and Brad, his Twitch name was Brad Brigmos Enraged when he was streaming.
Whoa, we got Thregs.
All the combos.
Thragtusk Kitchen Finks.
Although I don't think those work with Thragtusk works with O-Stone, but Finks doesn't. Exiles, right?
No, O-Stone destroys.
How did Exiles? Okay.
Nope, that's like every similar card.
Yeah.
Like Hell Vault, Vampire Nighthawk.
God, Hell Vault.
You have lots of choice. I think Vampire Nighthawk
looking
got a flat upgrade. The graveyard one.
Pretty close to,
Like that guy can be a 1/3 sometimes. Usually it's at least a 2/3 though. Farseek.
Wow.
I did a double take at Farseek. It's not bad. It's actually quite good. But and if I'm not including signets, this is an important style of card to have. It makes green like the ramp color, then that's important. Hey.
Go for the throat. Lorwyn. Well, we can't go back to Lorwyn. We would go back to Shadowmoor, as Lorwyn was destroyed.
Hey, there's crew fix.
No.
It was done in the story. It can be undone in the story. You can go back to whenever. It doesn't.
They went back in Origins.
Yeah, but that was literally going back, like in time.
Which
it was telling an origin story.
What is like substantially preventing re-Lorwyn from happening? Really?
I mean, I guess
because I don't think it's anything narrative.
I think it was the cycle between the night and the day was supposed to take like centuries, right?
Yeah, but they can just like
narrative does not matter for this. I am insisting. I insist upon this.
Fear of the Suns.
Fear of the Suns was the signet I allowed.
Do you want to put a copy of that land that you choose 2 on it by drawing?
Yeah.
Swords.
So Swords to Plowshares, the one I'm playing here is from can you make out the mark? No, this was I think this was either Elspeth or no, was this there was a like there were precons for Cold Snap. This might not be from that, but there were precons for Cold Snap that had reprints in them for like Ice Age and Alliances cards, and people were like certain Force of Will was going to be a reprint in a precon. $10 precon, Force of Will. People were just like
Stromgald. No, here's the difference between Kamigawa and Lorwyn. No active characters were fooling around on Kamigawa when they printed it. Every original Planeswalker was on Lorwyn.
I don't know what any of them were doing there.
No, we don't know what they were doing, but they were there.
They I mean, the cards were printed in the set. I don't think
Yeah.
there was any like story component of them existing there.
Damnation.
Here we're talking about.
Although
Koth,
that does-
so Koth did fight Venser, in the sense that,
They were
like,
enemy colors.
well, like, if I remember right, Koth shows up on like Elspeth and Venser's, like I think on Venser's door and says, "Hey, you need to help me. I'm trying to beat up these Phyrexians." And Venser's like, "Go away, I'm doing science." And Koth goes, "All right, fine, I guess. I'm just going to put a rock bubble around your head, and you're going to suffocate unless you planeswalk." And so Venser planeswalks to Mirrodin and says, "Fine, all right, God, you absolute dick."
That's at least a creative use of powers. I like that.
Yeah.
Ooh, sword. Although, here's a weird thing about Kamigawa. The planeswalker we saw from Kamigawa was Tamiyo the Moon Sage. And she is an old-style wizard, like a Kamigawa Betrayers Champions style, like, wizard. But at the Kamigawa she is, like, contemporary with, deed, hell yes, is like a cyber zone. So has she just not been back to Kamigawa in 1,000 years or whatever?
She has family there. She lives there all the time.
Then why is she like some rustic throwback? Is she just ancient? Is she
because
old?
there are parts of Kamigawa that are still rustic throwback.
Yeah, but does she know it? Why she should have a laptop instead of using a book. Tamiyo's journal should be a laptop. The Grizzard himself.
Look, she's just like the magic person version of cottagecore, all right? Like
So she's like a crypto fascist.
No, that's rude.
I'm just throwing.
I don't.
I'm throwing shade at cottagecore,
Oh.
Jen. So let me Ulamog also probably.
This is old Ulamog.
Yeah, could Nulamog probably better. Grizzlebrand may or may not be better than. Grizzlebrand has to be better than General Purpose than Archon of Cruelty.
Okay, we got Reclamation Sage. Good card.
No, Tamiyo secretly being a bad person would make me feel better about her being roboted. So don't be so sad about it.
I feel nothing about Tamiyo, one direction or the other, so I really have no stake in that.
You liked your first Planeswalker card, right? The tap one?
I thought it was okay.
Mortify.
It didn't make me love the character or anything. It's like
Mortify is a weird one. I feel like it was never as good as Putrefy.
I always found it weird that Putrefy
Really never was.
broke Regen, but Mortify didn't.
Oh.
Mortify was played a lot because, again, in the era, Ghost Dad. Yeah, this is a card you played in that.
You could kill a Debtor's Knell.
Yes.
So I think I know why Putrefy said but Mortify didn't. It was because like regenerating an enchantment was an unimaginable thing.
True.
But regenerating artifacts was very imaginable coming off of
Yeah.
Mirrodin.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Welding Jar is a card. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yo,
Orin
Oran
Viper.
A snow creature.
I love Oran Viper.
Low touch.
So Oran Viper is one of my favorite. So okay, background about Oran Viper. These days it's gonna be very quaint. When Oran Viper deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. That was like game-changing green text when this
Yes.
card was printed.
We had Curiosity, and that was it.
It also has fake death touch.
Touch.
At the end of combat. But like back in the day, this was so huge because like you would hit them and it would blow up. You'd get card advantage out of your green card. Unheard of. You'd play this with Stonewood Invocation on your curve. You'd play this and then you'd play Stonewood Invocation, which is +5/+5 untargetable with split second. Oh god. Good stuff. Yeah, sure.
Mechanical Sanctum?
A land.
Grassland?
Hooray.
I think you've kind of seen the land bases that exist in here.
Mhm.
Though again, at this period, this is 2 sets before Harmonize is about to be printed.
Yeah. And
So-
Harmonize broke all the rules.
Well,
So-
yeah,
With a-
and Cold Snap kind of had a lot of deliberate throwbacks in it
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
Hence the strange
Ooh.
insert. Everybody's favorite.
text on the killing.
Are you going to put an ephemerate in here, Jens? That seems like a card you would like a lot.
There's sort of a lot of leg room
There
for
is.
ephemerate
There
going
is-
on here. Like,
I think what it is that I'll probably put a couple cards that upgrade that style of deck, but everything else needs like a wild upgrade. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
mono red needs to have some better tools. Black needs a little bit of a shift. We'll see how everything still goes.
I kind of hate ephemerate, though. Dungeon Geists! That also might have a... What's the ice break region?
Yeah, this might have a strictly better.
Although ice break region was like a...
They're gonna card draw
ice
all the
ball
other
region.
colors. Why don't they give card draw to blue?
Yeah, okay.
hey, Soren
Icefall...
Solemn Visitor.
Yeah, Solemn Visitor. Icefall region is 5 mana 4/4,
No.
4/3, so it's not strictly.
Hmm.
But it does have the snow titan.
These Sorens, which were funny because you have the Soren that is plus for power, minus for body, then the other one which is plus for a body, minus for power.
And they're both 4 mana. Sphinx of Steel Wind still gets there. Still a Tinker target.
I
Yeah,
understand that. I mean, part of the way Magic exists is that there was always going to be a creature that was like big keyword soup, and that's all it does. This
Yeah.
goes back to like Spirit of the Night.
yes.
And and so like nowadays it's like, oh, who's the next Akroma?
That's not a Sack Tribe
And
art. I've
for the
ever
most
seen.
part, they have not been like weird, janky color sliding mistakes like Akroma OG is.
Mm.
Although Spirit of the Night had
Well,
first strike.
the
full
last
attacking.
one I can think of, the last one I can think of was that dinosaur that was like indestructible, flying, trample, double strike. But yeah, this is an F&M Sack Tribe.
Oh my god, block.
Was that the one that was like a white 4/8 or something?
Yeah, white 4/8. Figure was also
Hey, buddy.
a release promo, made it a lot easier to get. Figure of Destiny, incredibly powerful card.
Figure of Destiny is another card they keep finding
So
ways to
tough.
reprint in
Yeah.
creative ways, reimagine.
Sylvan Advocate.
That's-
That's a throwback at this point.
Huh.
Silver Knight.
All right.
Uh,
So I think it's Silver Knight and Blood Knight, and then we get Knight of Glory and Knight of Infamy.
Do you have Black Knight? You have a Strom Knight of Stromwell. Here's your guy. Here's Boros Reckoner.
Boros. Record.
It's our Reckoner machine.
this thing is like never at a loss for a trick.
Yep.
Instant classic.
Doggy.
This was one of the first rares I pulled from a pack. I bought 3 packs. I opened Izumaru, Shinka the Bloodsoaked Keep, and Quicksilver Dragon because I bought a pack of Onslaught as well.
Yeah. At least your
Izumaru-
Shinka and Izumaru were both good.
Yeah. Shinka gained value over
Over time.
Over time.
Now it's just like a random one of in every red deck.
So you can first strike.
Your Ragavan.
Yeah, I have not swapped out the Izumaru. Again, I usually a lot of the reason cards are in the cube is because of things like that, where they mean something.
Never mind.
Going through the cube like this is a walkthrough of the history of all of me playing. Okay,
Didn't
under.
they make Mind Void Slime?
Mm. If the next card is Absorb,
Although, didn't they make a... No, there was a Ionize. Is the
Yeah.
fake Undermine.
yeah.
Yeah.
those
Did
two.
they make a 1 blue-black counterspell? Like exactly that mana cost?
Perplex? We're not talking about Perplex, are we?
I don't know.
Perplex is
I was-
counter target spell unless its controller discards their hand.
Yeah, not that one.
Oh.
That
Okay.
was always a funny one.
Yeah. Okay, okay, this is...
Blood Raid.
These are not the combo you're looking for, but, you know.
Okay, no, they never printed Undermine other than that. There's Psychic Strike, which is a common. That's just cancel mill 2. There's counter target creature spell or return target creature from your graveyard to your hand.
There's a Kalitas.
And then there's Mundungu, which is a creature.
Mundungu.
Hell yes.
Mundungu.
Counter unless they pay 1 mana and 1 life.
Tragic Slip. Another Pauper All-Star.
Yeah.
That's what you had to play before Fatal Push was a thing.
Oh
no, Vampire Lacerator.
Is that what we're doing in here?
Oh no, we're gonna see
Probably not
Carnifage
for that long. Yeah.
Hi, I'd like to make a phone call. The Knight of the Ebon Legion or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Knight of the Ebon Legion.
Yeah, let's,
the only good black 1-drop.
Okay.
Dismember. Yeah.
Splashed and everything.
Yep, one of those
Bronze.
things that like will never leave anyone's cube because of what it does.
Vampiric Tutor.
That thing that searches for a basic land. You're second.
Like,
hey, you make the plays that win.
Me and Kaz played a game where I had to use this twice in our best of 3 to go tutor Dark Slick Shores both times. Like, because I kept like a 1-lander and I'm like, whatever. Vamp tutor for Dark Slick Shores. Let's just draw out of this.
That's all that card does in my mind forever now. I'm sure there's been times on where we've done that in like online cubes, like Moto cubes too.
Yeah.
That's it. Fire Arena is a way of judging your cube. It's like it makes a statement of, is this a card you want in your deck, right? Like that says something about the characteristic of your cube. Terminate.
Surprised this isn't Dreadbore.
I think Terminate's better than Dreadbore.
I agree. I'm just surprised they didn't do that.
Dragon Skull Summit. I'm just saying the name of the cards you flip up.
I enjoyed Dragon Skull Summit. Has the funny bit where when it's reprinted on Ixalan, a land with no dragons, they have to fix it in the flavor text. Marshlands. Oh, yes.
Wonder what the price of Black Cleave is.
Probably not that much.
John players are out there.
You know, they're
also
always
red
waiting.
black is just like one of the better modern decks right now. Okay, it's like a $12 card.
Oh, faithless looting. What could have been.
Slaying Fire.
I replaced the Flame Javelin with this.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. There's been a lot of banned cards detected so far.
Yeah.
It's a cube.
Ooh.
Fire and Ice.
Love.
Still heavily played. Fire and Ice.
Still just real good card, even especially in cubes for just knocking out.
You know,
Almost everyone's gonna have that tiny dork that, you know, from Noble Hierarch to Mother of Runes to
Ragavan.
Yeah, to Ragavan to
you know what you do with this card these days?
Ooh,
Fireball.
Oh man.
Now you can tell you can tell why the Fireball's in here.
Yeah, because it's a classic. What you do with Ice now is you instep, ice their land, untap, cast Shardless Agent to Cascade.
Yeah, there's a number of cards in here that are just, again, there's a Devil's Play like right over here. I think it's visible right here.
Not strictly better than Fireball.
But like Or like I could make that volcano blow out. There's a number of options I could make it, but it's
And there's a
fireball.
million. There's a
Oh.
million.
Oh,
Hey.
sorry. Whenever I see a card newer than like 4 years, it's like a jump
Yeah,
scare.
any card that I
Although-
first played on MTG Arena,
Yeah.
it's like, oh wow.
Good one.
Although, I have bad news about how long ago Dominaria was.
I'm aware. But again, like the reason I'm jump scared is because I didn't think I updated the cube that long.
Yeah.
There's a reason I'm
Yeah.
doing this. It's been that long.
I think the XY fireballs are all white borders, so it's
Mhm.
a taster's choice. Luteral core.
A Luteral Core, a card with a strict upgrade.
For the most part, yeah.
for the most
werewolf.
part, the werewolf.
The werewolf. If you're in Reanimator, the werewolf isn't strictly bad.
I know. Oh,
Chromox.
this is the promotional one. This is
Banned card alert.
This is a Grand Prix Chrome Mox. You can see right there on it.
There are people who want to unban that card in Modern. But there's like people who want to print every bad card into Modern. Force Spike.
Oh,
I love Force Spike is maybe my favorite counter spell.
Again, this is a F&M Force Spike.
It's the best thing about Force Spike is how demoralizing it is.
I will forever love hitting somebody with a Force Spike or Mana Tithe and seeing the land drop following the play. You know, that's
yeah, they call that the shame land.
that's the
It's no Rune Boggle, but ooh, here's
Wow.
here's another Slyo 9 special,
Wow.
the Knight of Meadow Grain, with the weird goat chocobo that they never elaborated on.
yep. That's
It's just in a gallop. You can see all of its limbs.
It's a goat chocobo, Kaz. It's
No,
a
it
goat,
isn't.
it's a
There to
biped.
convey motion.
oh.
Ah, Stroke Genius. Huh. Is Blue Suns in here as well, or is it just?
It's
Stroke?
just Stroke.
Okay. I remembered Blue Suns, but I might have been wrong.
Huh.
Falcon Wrath Aristocrat. That used to be an all-star. I don't know how good it is these days.
Yeah, Brainstorm is like
Definitely an all-star for naming the archetype that became popular and remains popular to this day after it existed.
Aristocrats.
It's funny how those names stick, and like yeah, Affinity was the name for any artifact aggro for a decade, to the chagrin of wizards. Like,
Although, to their unchagrin, Affinity right now plays Affinity cards. They did it. That's what people call that. But people don't call that Affinity. They call it 8-cast. Because it plays 8 thought cast. Yeah, Keranos. I don't know about Keranos.
Cord.
Cord. You gotta have Cord in your Wall of Roots deck.
What do you call a deck like that? I call it Affinity, but they would try to call it robots, things like that.
They came up with a bunch of names.
Yeah, they tried to push robots from the mothership for a long time.
Yeah.
It just
Oh,
hasn't
hey,
worked.
everybody!
Tapped Spire Buff Finale.
Everybody, please redeem your Tap Spirebluff Canal now. I don't have a Tap Spirebluff Canal for you to redeem. I'm sorry. I would never steal that.
Yeah,
Okay, so Spear is here.
We've entered the Ryan Overturf segment of
Yeah.
the cube players.
So like, what's next then?
Lava Dart.
A braid?
Soulscar Mage.
I thought we did Soulscar Mage.
Okay,
already.
a duel,
Oh.
sure.
I don't remember Soulscar Mage, but
We
I
didn't-
might
we
have
have not.
stepped away.
I don't think we've hit it.
I did step away for a minute. Would Ryan play a Temple of Triumph? I
No.
don't think he would. Well, I think he would play a Begarden Hellkite for your Kiki Jiki deck. You tooth and nail for Kiki Jiki and Begarden Hellkite.
This is
Gotta
the
be good
Dragon
enough to kill
Storm.
anything
This is
smooth.
the card Dragon Storm is
Named
Kills
after,
with.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or yeah, not named after, but it's
Oh,
literally.
another
Frost Titan.
stamped Titan. God, I got to play with a couple Titans Unlimited, huh? That's messed up.
He would begrudgingly pick a Temple of Triumph and cube speed runs and be sad about it.
Baleful Strix, huh?
Baleful
Classic.
Strix is like nearly a perfect card.
Yep.
For what it does. Okay.
Bone splitter. My bones! No! They're split! You've heard of shin splits, but have you heard of it this way?
Somehow Bone Splitter has never been substantially power crept.
Yeah.
They they've printed a bunch of 2-mana versions of it.
Yeah. Or it's
Or
like
1 mana
one
2
cost
equip.
2 equip, yeah.
Or just like 2 costs 1
Trusty
And then
equip.
they
machete.
give it some kind of feature. And it's like, well, it's not
Oh!
quite the same.
Ah, here's the fire blast someone asked about.
Fire Blast.
Yep. This is from, there was a deck that was just a mono red deck. What was it called? It was just like released as foil. I forget. I
I
forget.
thought it might have been like a Chandra versus deck or whatever.
No, it was a single deck. It wasn't a From the Vault, but it was like similar in nature. Premium deck Fire and Lightning. Yeah, that existed like I think for 1 or 2. Oh, huh.
Maelstrom Wanderer
Whoa,
is
wild.
a favorite of ours.
As I mentioned, one of the rules is 3 color cards get 1. 3 color combinations get 1 card. So it's a card. We might be able to get through the rest of this if we go.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize we had less to say about what we're
I mean, we're just. I think.
already our nostalgia tokens.
I think we're just like making
We're
good
going-
speed now.
We're making good speed. We had our interlude where
Ooh,
Baneslayer.
Baneslayer.
We had our interlude where we talked about other card games for 10 minutes,
Yeah.
and then we got back on track.
So Baneslayer Angel was a $50 card on its first print for a year until it was outclassed by Titans. But B, there's an old dichotomy of Baneslayer versus Moldrifter as the tension of like threat level cards you play. Do you play the big card that can kill very quickly but has no value, or the Moldrifter which kills in 10 turns but gives you replacement?
The answer is you play 1 of one and 4 of the other.
Yeah,
I'll let you decide what that ratio
The
is.
answer is they all became Omnath and Uro.
They became Omnath, yeah.
Ugh.
Mongrel.
And so you don't need to make the decision anymore.
I hate Omnaths so much. It's the only card they could ban from 4-color Omnath that wouldn't actually make the deck better. Because, okay, first you could ban Ren and 6, which you could do that. That would make everybody really sad, though, because that's such a sweet card. And is a poor modern card. You could ban Yorion. Banning Yorion would make 4-color Omnath better. Bizarrely.
That's incredible because they wouldn't be playing the 80 card.
Yeah, because they'd go down to 60, and here's 60 card Omnath is like better against the field than 80 color Omnath is, except you automatically lose the mirror. Like that's how the energy works in that matchup. Is like you could draw your sideboard card just better when you're not an 80 card deck. But if you're a Yorion, if you're not a Yorion deck and you're beating up a Yorion deck, that's a pretty barreled out factor fiction.
Yeah, this is another FNM one again, being able to play all of Madness. This is still, it's been for such a long time, and I still don't think this card's been. It finally got crept last
by
year.
Memory Deluge,
And that's
the first-
like, and
Not
that's even
strictly
like
better.
debatable. Like,
Yeah, although I think Deluge is better.
Oh.
Tangle Wire. We'll never cut Tangle Wire. We're Tangle Wire lovers.
Oh, Lord.
So like Abundant Growth, you could ban Abundant Growth, I guess, but just banning Omnath solves the problem
Yeah.
of the deck.
Tangle Wired is too old and weird to get any kind of really anything quite like it.
so we've probably got one more stack remaining.
Yeah.
So I guess the question is if I want to do that now. And, we're already at 2.5.
Yeah, but then like the next one will be pretty short.
Yeah, that'll
I
be
guess
pretty
I guess
short.
if we have a short one, then we start theory crafting.
I mean,
guess.
I'm willing to go further.
Sure,
I
let's
could go further.
just roll with it then. All right.
It's like, I mean, the upside of a stream like this is we don't have to think too damn hard.
Yeah,
We're making zero
look,
decisions.
we just see a card in our primal
Like,
brain.
oh, wow.
You know, we do.
Oh, look, that card. Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, plow under.
I want to talk about like
Right?
primal
Like-
brain reactions to seeing cards.
Like every card we flip up, like if it doesn't have like the reaction of like us just going whoa, it probably shouldn't be in the cube, right? Like that's the whole point of. Anyway, plow under, whips.
It's like the most bust. It's like the most ass flattening card of all time.
God.
If we do get you another world's victory and they won't let you print gamble into Anarch,
Mhm.
we have to find a way to make plow under a card. Like maybe you can top a deck X resed assets or something.
Ooh.
Kagamaru, First to Suffer. I think this card is still cube good. I love this card.
I like creature that is a wrath. That's
And it's also just like a big beater. Like he does everything.
yeah.
Plus he's a big grub.
Ooh.
Factory. Does everything you need it to.
Plow under loops are like. When you say plow under loops, I'm thinking of like a fight game combo, like where you just keep getting them in the infinite.
Totsugeki.
Yeah.
Totsugeki. I've been doing that one a lot lately. As they're big nickel.
Big nickel.
I've had a lot of friends getting into Strive. Guilty Gear Strive because of trans rights.
Same.
And I have to warn them that it's really hard.
I've been finding that out.
But you can just play May and spam that stupid dolphin, and that'll get you okay against your friends. You'll lose against anybody who has a brain, but against your friends you'll be fine. You just have to splash that stupid dolphin.
It's not, there is a kind of friction to starting out in a fighting game, especially one with a well-established history, if you just haven't done that before. But it's it's not that bad. You can get in a fight game. You'll be surprised how many people surround you all the time who will be really enthusiastic about you doing it for the first time.
They're hungry for more fresh meat. Yeah, you're over on Garrick.
Probably
best Garrick, I still think.
The best Garrick, yeah.
I was gonna say the most like solid design of the initial 5 that basically lasts forever.
Mini Jace is probably number 2.
It was always a little messed up that you could like ultimate the second turn.
Yeah.
That's a bad design, I want to say.
Flame Zealot, a card that was made to hate a deck too little too late. And Recurring Nightmare, a busted piece of crap.
That's...
We love Recurring Nightmare.
Oh, Meyer. I was like, didn't I already flip a Meyer? But that was Blood Crypt.
I'm going to make an oath right now.
All right.
About Strive.
Sure.
I will buy it if they announce Kumheyun.
Okay.
That'll make me pretty safe against having to buy it. But
if they announce what?
Kumheyun.
Kumheyun.
It's a character from Zerd that I really like.
I didn't play Zerd. Huh.
It's a small Korean woman inside a giant grandpa suit. And she throws very slow-moving giant balls. It has a Donkey Kong clap.
Ooh. Avalanche Riders.
Yeah, a invitational card.
Frank Karsten special.
Love that one.
I'm glad we got some Cum fans in the chat. I get to say that in your stream, right?
I don't know about that one.
I feel like we've been wombo comboed already. You're sure you're not into fighting games?
Yeah, I believe that's what we call the mix-up.
No, I watched a fair amount of fighting games, but I always get I get like fear response whenever I think about actually playing them again. I haven't played Guilty Gear in a long time.
This card is...
Yeah, I hadn't played Guilty Gear in a long time until Strive came out, and then I played Guilty Gear again.
This card's incredibly good. Very good one-drop.
It was the 1-mana Monodork of that format.
Yeah.
Ugh. Good gravy.
Oh,
Legion's Landing. Drana, liberator of Malakir. Wow,
Hey,
we
Dick
really
Sh-
did have a vampires sub theme. What the hell? We...
hey.
Hey, more invitational cards. Sad sack.
Yes.
Hmm.
I was so happy to find out when I started playing that there was a card named after me, but not me. It's Jens
But not
Thorin.
you. Jens
Not
Thorin.
not Jen.
Not Jens. Not the
Jens.
American.
That's
Yeah,
yeah.
monetize.
Wait, that's why Force Spike is in here. You chiselers.
Yeah, both.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Monetize, I think, is more passe at this point than Force Spike is. Huntmaster, more girl
perhaps.
4-drops. Almost certainly outclassed, but still, we love. Everybody has fond memories of Huntmaster, but
Yeah.
Time of printing the magic card with the most text on it. Beating out Ice Cauldron.
Damn.
And nowadays we have like two-sided planeswalkers. So.
Warhammer. Right, I feel like Loxodon Warhammer was always very good, but never too good.
In limited, it
was
was.
surrounded by,
Oh,
it was
Unlimited,
surrounded by
yeah.
things that like
Yeah.
And
Made
Tuco
it
Shi.
look silly.
This is probably a card that's just not good enough right now anymore.
Yeah, like you could maybe do Nantuko Husk, but not Nantuko Shade.
Because like,
Yeah,
because mono
Like-
black isn't like.
right. I mean, nowadays creatures can't just be big beaters unless their name is Tarmogoyf. Whereas the like black creature that has some utility and then later a mana sink, we got Knight of the Ebon Legion.
Your big creature. Ooh, yeah, here's the Pokemon
Oh.
special.
I guess so there are some cards that are in the cube that cannot be removed for
Historical reasons.
for just like there's not a lot of them. We've talked a lot, and there's a lot of cards that I've been like, oh my god, it's incredible, but like only some of them are like grandfathered in.
This one is
as
because
the best.
Pokecaptain
Yeah, Pokecaptain assembled
Instep Kiki.
the best Kiki Jiki kill, which was Kiki Jiki and Kiora's follower, where at first Pokecaptain thought, I have an infinite, but no, it doesn't do anything. But at the end of turn, after your end step starts, you can make infinite Kiora's followers, and they go like, they just all, you know,
They
they
untap.
all come into play tapped, and then they go, like, then they just go. Just
Now
the-
the master touch will be to do that to win with infinite mana, not with infinite attack.
So
Get yourself a
yeah.
fireball. Or a
because of that
Bayfire.
Pokecap, this gets to stick in here just because I was like, the card's also like fine. It's a good card. Speaking of good cards,
Archival. Speaking of, this card might be a little better than Kiora's
a little
follower.
bit,
I'm
little
not
better,
sure.
a little better. Vengevine's in the cube.
Lanimore Elves, the classic taste. What's contender for some of the worst flavor text of all time? Oh, there's Dreadbore. You had both in here.
Oh, I do have both in here. Okay.
Yeah, contender for some of the worst flavor text of all time.
One bone
All right,
broken.
that was- One cost,
Oh,
1/1
shit.
elf was this like big.
Oh
deal.
shit.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you don't have to have Miori's
Oh,
in here
shit.
anymore.
Oh no. Oh. Well.
I hate this card.
God.
I played so many standard games with this card, and I hate it. I hate this card, and I hate Hydra Crisis. I hate them both.
Well, okay.
That was a couple of years worth of magic.
Now, Deep Analysis I love. Everybody loves Deep
The
Analysis.
specimen seems to be broken.
You can play this card in Doomsday.
It has on the art. I'm gonna pull the first card that we got out.
Yeah, Masticore.
There's Masticore, and this art is a little different but yeah,
Yeah.
So that's what they're deeply analyzing.
that is because
Masticore.
that is why the flavor text is the specimen seems to be broken, in the sense that they were calling Masticore a busted ass card.
Oh,
That is
LMAO.
that is the joke of the flavor text.
cheeky
Delta.
joke.
Probably the. Is this
Is it the best
This,
fetch land? It might
Is
be.
it?
is this or Tarn?
Tarn,
Oh
right?
no, no, not Misty. Misty's the best special land.
Misty? Oh,
Misty.
yeah, that's probably true.
Hey,
Back
The
fade.
duck.
Dak Faden is such a comedy option in this cube because there's, you know, it's not a vintage cube. There's no busted. There's not even
There's
signets.
not signets.
There's,
Like,
what are you even
But-
stealing?
Is there Kaz Emissary of Trest or?
at this point, I'm just gonna take the pile we have.
Because if you can do that, that's very rude with where you target your opponent when they can't draw extra cards.
Oh yeah, that's I do not believe that the handshake is in here.
You have Handshake. You have.
You can't have handshake in there
Narset.
because there's the Chromox that you have in is not the Chromox that depicts him. Remember
also
when we
a-
found that out? Where it's like, if you look close enough at Chromox, it's actually that guy inside the whole time. That's who you exiled to
Every time.
imprint onto Chromox.
Does it work with Spirit of the Labyrinth as well? I think it does.
I think they draw one card. Or
I think
no.
they discard two.
Alright.
Players can't draw more than one card each turn. So
Who are
they
we-
would draw one
like
card. then
Trest is
discard
not
one.
right. Who are we thinking of?
No, it is Emissary of Trest.
Hey.
Edric. Oh, I wasn't talking about Edric. I was
Oh.
Well,
talking about
shit.
Leovold.
Sorry,
Leovold.
Emissary of Trest. Yeah, he is
Yeah.
Emissary of Trest. Yeah.
Avenger
He's Kaz.
Zendikar is our.
Leovold looks a lot like Kaz. I'm just going to lay the joke out.
yeah, my
Wow.
huge wing ears, the poofy. Okay, I would definitely wear a
You would.
doublet like that. Yeah.
Also, Genesis. I love Genesis. I hope we don't cut it.
We still have survival and such. It's a
Yeah, Rexer is great with Genesis.
Oh,
but
geez. Now that I take a closer look at Leovold Emissary I Trust, that's really
all right.
just put a pair of glasses on him, actually,
Yeah, just put him glasses, give him a haircut.
and I guess an ear cut also.
Nah,
Yeesh.
those are fine.
I might have actually cut this down to like close to 360.
Ooh.
It's like we're
Oh,
almost
wow.
we're at like a little below 300. All right, hollowed.
Mountain. Yeah.
Luckily, the mix I have is like 3.5 hours long, so that's gonna last.
We can just play
Oh.
Gallant Char if we run out of time.
Yeah.
Water
Pact.
pact.
Yeah.
There's the big surprise.
It gets the job done. It was around 540 at some point. Okay. Booty. Booty's good. I know that because I drafted Tinker and then didn't have a Tinker target because it was in the 150 cards we didn't open.
This might have been 540 at some point, and I cut because I bought like 900 sleeves or something like that. Wow.
Firebolt.
All right.
Modern legal, but it's no lava dart.
No. Hey.
Cube.
That's why
Cube
Whip
card.
Quarter is
Yeah,
still in
this is
here.
why Whipcorner's still in here.
You gotta have the
Out of
the morph
you,
roulette.
you see one, you know the other exists.
Is
Right.
Histrodon in here?
Oh, hi.
Kozilek.
Kozilek, sweet.
You had Histrodon. You had faceless guy. What's his name? The minus X. Bane of the Living. Yeah. E-Witness.
E-Witness is still a messed up magic card and always has been.
Yep.
Being a creature.
It's not really an archetype so much as like the glue that holds a whole bunch of value
lets you-
loops together.
It lets you play Ephemerate and Collected Company and Time Warp and have that be your plan.
Draw a tree speaker.
Maybe the best mana elf ever,
Yeah.
secretly.
What? Definitely that.
Stepling.
Huh. Ha.
Step links, eh?
Ha. I
That's
guess
worse.
fetches do exist, but huh.
Yeah, it's pretty suspicious looking in a cube.
Hey!
Nobles.
Hey.
Vampire
Stromkirk
sub
Noble, like-
theme.
I think Stromkirk probably still makes weight though, especially if you have a lot of humans. We love this guy.
Okay.
Worldly Tutor.
Worldly tutor.
Sifu. Look at this acorn, and you will learn about creatures that you put on top of your deck.
Huh.
Slagstorm. I feel like that's a card. That,
Slagstorm.
yeah,
That
I
can't
think
be
that's a
right.
card. I think that's a card that might be here for historical reasons.
I don't think it is. I
Nah.
I think I just had this as the red sweeper, and it just never switched to like anger or anything like that.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Anger is the
Honestly,
one
red
that-
doesn't want a sweeper. It has Mizium mortars as well if it really wanted one. Okay.
Shrine, yeah.
Godless
I could-
Shrine.
I could see the putting in the cycle one from Amonkhet. I like that one. Monolith.
Yeah, Monolith is
I haven't seen Miscalc, but Monolith is maybe better than Miscalc. I don't know. I just like Miscalc a lot
Overgrown
because I like
Tomb?
cycling cards.
Miscalculation is more fun to say.
yeah.
It is.
It's like I monolith this. No,
Plus
you
it's got-
miscalculated.
Plus, it's got sad Karn on it.
It does have
Oh.
sad Karn on it. We love sad Karn. He should always be sad.
Hey,
Obstinate
Bailoff. Adjective
Football
Bailoff. Funny having this in here with Liliana. You know, sometimes you get to play that. Oh,
Keldon
Keldon
Marauders.
Marauders.
Wow.
We love this card, but it's probably not good enough.
No, especially like
Nope.
it and Hellspark are probably just not.
They're very suspicious
Okay.
looking, yeah.
Okay.
Now,
There's
Goblin
Goblin
Guy.
Guide.
Goblin Guy, I like.
This
Goblin
one,
Guide is pretty irreplaceable.
yeah. There's nothing that is Goblin Guide. There's a
Gatekeeper
Whoa!
of Malakir. Wow. We really did have a secret vampire theme that I forgot about.
holy smokes! This was a deep thing. This was also a FNM
Gatekeep-
promo.
Yeah, Gatekeeper was in the Moto Cube for a very long time, though.
Mm-hmm.
We have the problem once again of black cards wanting to be mono black.
Yeah,
Eustace.
I need to. That's something I can easily switch up, like these days, if I want. That I should.
Lightning Strike.
Lightning Strike. I knew we would see Lightning Strike,
Mhm.
given that Searing Spear was.
Mm-hmm.
Or Incinerate.
Oh, yeah,
Come on, baby, do the
yes.
twist. Now, without Cygnus, twist is a little nerfed, but just casting this for 3 is good enough.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Huh.
Hero of Oxid Ridge.
Oxid Ridge.
The one you don't remember.
Not
as
Hell
much.
Dude, but still okay.
Yeah, this one has Battle Cry and things can't block. 1
Right.
power or less.
Mind Twist for 2
And,
is called Stupor.
Oxid Ridge was the kinder one because it didn't constantly force you to stack your triggers correctly.
Yeah.
Coalition Relic to go with your Mind Twist. And Stupor is okay, but Stupor, nobody wanted Stupor.
Nah,
Man.
you in a cube, you never want to draft
Yeah.
Stupor.
You'd probably want
Man of War's class.
Okay, we're finding
Tutor.
some.
we're finding the power down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Go Blank? That's the mind rot. That's the
Oh,
Pioneer
yeah.
All-Star. Which is exile 2 from your hand, exile their graveyard.
Right. Like Go Blank just does just enough to actually be playable.
Yeah.
Cryptic Command.
Cryptic Command.
All right.
Oh God.
Cryptic Command. Cryptic Command. Snapcaster.
One with text. Thank God.
Did you know this card wasn't immediately realized as the most broken card in the world on release?
It was triple blue. How are you going to cast it? And then they realized you could use Vivids, and then they realized you could cast it in the same deck as
Yeah.
Thresher.
Yeah.
Well, it was
whatever.
Vivids, and then when Shadow War came out, they had the filter lands.
or you could just play it,
And I
and,
was like,
you could play this and Mistbind click, and
Yeah, it'd be fun.
oh, that's a good one.
Containment Priest for a long time was bugged on Moto, where if you exhumed, you would get your Containment Priest, and they would not get their creature from the exhumes.
Misty. For a short period, this cube had 2 Misty Rainforests on accident. Just whoops.
Hmm?
I think Texas Cryptic is funny and
Now
good.
that is the green blue support that we can get behind.
Minor anti-points for not having Ravages of War, but I understand. Portal cards are expensive.
Portal cards are quite expensive. But
I'm
yeah,
not going to expect you to have 3 visits.
in this, because signets aren't real, this is a lot more real of a card.
Yeah, you need a planeswalker for get a Gideon and you're good.
Hmm.
God, we're
Feels like-
finding
Sulfuric vortex.
we're finding some power down here at the bottom.
I think Sulfuric Vortex might be my favorite card.
What do you think of the more recent one that they printed that has the like activated ability for the
Not as good.
life gain? Really?
Yeah,
Alright.
not as
Well,
good.
it's cheaper though.
It is cheaper.
Whoa.
Magma Jet.
Magma
I'm
Jet.
a little offended at having Magma Jet instead of Incinerate because I've always thought Magma Jet was over.
I'm pretty sure I removed Incinerate because of like questions about regeneration.
That's reasonable.
I think it was literally and like Thrud was the only card that had Regenerate and it's untargetable by Incinerate. So I just sidestepped the problem. Yes. Yes.
Grave Titan, notable for being a thing you put in your Reanimator deck that gets cast.
That gets
a lot.
cast a lot. All right. Here's
a history card.
Here's a card in here for history and history basically alone. Doran the Siege Tower. You might recognize that this is a full art Doran. But what you might not know is that this is a full art Doran that was printed as a promo during like Lorwyn era. This was a top 8 promo for states at that time. And at that time, they did not do this sort of like full art at all. They only did it for this event, style event. It took them like decades to do this in normal sets. So this card was not purchased. It was won by me. States was the first event I ever top 8'd. I took second with a elf deck that wasn't playing Tarmogoyfs because I didn't own them. So I played Thornwield Archer instead. Yeah, so
just as good.
This is a card that sticks around because it's
this is a card we have to note down. We've noticed that black needs a heavy rework. Find some cards that you want to play with Doran the Siege Tower.
If Doran's not leaving,
I don't know that that's necessarily a direction you want to go, but
No, not like going all in on it.
We're in the brainstorming phase, right?
Yeah,
like, don't count anything out just yet.
I'm not telling you to put Disowned Ancestor in your cube. I'm telling you just think about it, you know?
Oh my god. Yeah. And then Kintree Invocation.
Yeah. Put Kintree
really
Invocation and your Disowned Ancestor and then
and of course a card you might have expected to see. This cube does have the combo.
Pester me, pester you.
Doran is...
Yeah, so we're gonna get to, like...
Yeah, we're gonna see...
What's it?
Oh!
Stormblood Berserker, the most valuable man in the world.
Yeah. Oh my god, we had that multiplayer game where people kept stealing it.
I remember this being so fun for that, because we played this 4 or 5 player multiplayer game at MagFest. That was the first time I cubed with you. Where where someone played this as a 3/3 on turn 2, and it was like mind control, Sower of Temptation, like just steal. Like this went round the world. It was hilarious. But yeah, probably outclassed. Yeah,
there are many red cards I want you to be on the play, though.
Nezumi Grave Robber.
I almost called it Nozomi Grave Robber, which is a Shinmu thing. Yeah, when Nozomi goes on hard times. Nozomi Grave Robber is a weird one.
I always liked this one.
You know, we live in a different era of Magic. They tried a lot of stuff to get like cards that turned into other cards.
Yeah.
I actually like the flip cards. I kind of like them better than the rotation.
Because these flip in play.
Yeah.
Which makes these ones are awkward because like when I tap this like this, what is the card? You know?
Yeah, and it's like, is it up for me or up for you? Like that.
There was a cycle in Saviors that had triggers that flipped them and then turned them into enchantments, which was a lot easier to deal with. But the cards weren't very powerful.
No, one of them was.
Arayo. Yeah, you're right. You're right. When you're right, you're right.
Most of them were bad, except for Arayo, who is one of the most horseshit cards of the game.
That was part of the Sullivan solution to Vintage, which is a funny era of Vintage and so on. this was sort of back when creatures were so unplayably bad that like Vintage basically didn't have any. So any creature at all was functionally unblockable.
Yeah.
Footfall Primus is maybe my favorite big green guy.
I think this includes most of the normal targets for Avenger, Woodfall Primus, and Terrastodon. I think are all in here, so we should be seeing.
Nasty
Oh,
Jurassic
and,
Wait.
Hornet Queen, yeah.
So, just as a rule, you don't have what's it? Craterhoof Behemoth.
I might, I might not. I don't know. Oh,
Chase. Remember when this card was like $200 or whatever?
I do. I played a lot of Standard at that time. It sucked.
Jace.
You were playing to play Jace, or you're playing to beat Jace.
And
Oof.
I still remember when people were trying to make Jace good by just playing that what was that card? The little bird
Hawk.
that fetched the other birds.
Hawk.
Yeah.
Squadron Hawk.
Squadron Hawk. Hawk
They're
Blade.
like, oh, you can
Call
shuffle,
Blade.
you can shuffle in the Squadron Hawks, and it's like you're functionally drawing extra cards with your brainstorm.
That was legitimately one of the most consistent Standard decks that's ever existed.
That was Call Blade.
It
It's
was-
because you were
ugh.
drawing 3 cards every turn, but not, and you were putting them back. It was great.
Hey,
Here's
there's
Tamio, the
Tamio.
Moon Sage. Cottage Core Moon Sage.
It's all college.
oh my God.
Go into
I
your
don't know what
tiny
they-
house, you asshole. You're living in her tiny house.
She's leaving.
I'm
now.
glad she got completed. Brave
Sounds
caller.
like there's some bitterness there. I
Yeah,
don't know what that's about.
I don't like tiny house people.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Maybe
oh.
Leave.
Yo.
I was again
Speedrun.
not a speedrun.
Oh, now I can recommend another card to put in the cube.
Was it Javier?
Well, Javier Dominguez would be okay, but I was thinking of the Anax.
NX, yeah,
Ooh,
Disciple.
NX,
Again, the Splinter Twin combo.
Mhm.
And actually, Javier is really good if you leave the swords in, because that's a recent-ish development with Stoneblade. Is it if you put up Sword of Fire and Ice into play, you can just immediately put it on Javier, and then haste in. with it.
Ooh, that's cute.
Okay, yeah, there's Dreadbore.
Yeah.
We saw this flip earlier.
There's a kind of philosophical thing about red decks in general, is that like the 1-cost creatures are generally
Dr.
worth it,
Teeth.
and the 2-cost creatures are generally not.
Dr. Teeth is pretty, I think, outclassed, but just a fun historical card.
Yeah, this is likely a
Dog.
card that does not
It's like a
exist. This is not an FNM promo. It has a DCI stamp. It has the old art though.
It's got the Dr. Teeth.
There was
art.
an old adage. I don't remember who said it, but somebody said, I think Psychotalk might have been more fair if it was a 5/6 with no text. And then Tarmogoyf was printed, and that got tested.
And it eventually became true.
Yeah. Well, 2 mana versus 3 is also.
Because now you get for 2 mana, you get like an 8/8 flyer.
Yeah.
Mm.
Pour one out for Tombstalker, everybody.
Oh.
Or Tombstalker.
Here's your Kakusho.
So, Kakusho here, if I remember. Oh no, it must have been the Kaiga. One of my dragons has like a bend right down the middle. So
Maybe it's Ryusei. Although if you're gonna, here's your starting of your false Titan. If you,
Oh,
if
so
you
that's
got,
why Hornet Queen is in here.
hey now, I don't know what you're talking about.
but if you've got your cycle of false Titans, aren't the dragons like the original false Titans?
They're kind of false titans. I could believe that. We'll just have to pick out the ones that's
love-
best for our.
Okay,
Limited
Kakusho might
right.
seem kind of weak in a 1v1. Remember that recurring nightmare is in the cube.
Yeah, it has its place.
You basically you win that game
Ooh.
100% of the time.
Augurt Ram Gang.
And also a guy that might be outclassed. Like Gruul Spellbreaker is probably just better than this.
Yeah.
But Gruul Spellbreaker also not that.
Alright.
How good is Gruul Spellbreaker? 3 mana 3/3 haste or 3 mana 4/4, both with trample. I think do they have hexproof?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
use
spell breaker.
on
I
a
think it's
turn,
only-
on a specific
yeah.
turn.
Like during your turn.
Oh, this is a card that like
Ooh.
might be upgradable into an instant, or like a second copy of it if I want.
Yeah.
Thirst for basic.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's your turn, you and Gruul Spellbreaker have hexproof. It's Riot Trample 3/3.
Wow, you and? Ah.
You and.
Yep.
Wow.
Not that you having hexproof matters a lot on your turn.
Well, it just means that the like instant edicts won't work.
Yeah, it means instant.
It means that you can't cast gifts.
Revoker's always
Yeah, this
cool.
is a card that just sort of like gets to live in almost every cube. Like it's just such a.
It does everything.
When I type malady instead of malice, I put in the wrong temple a second time. Alright.
Yeah.
That's another reason
Good
I don't
catch.
like the temper. Temples,
Good
thank
catch. I would never have noticed that in a million years.
you. Yeah, thank you. Oh,
Maze of Ith
Maze of Ith.
from the dark.
Outstanding. I love that Maze of Ith and Questing Beast are in the same queue.
yes.
Here's my recommendation for the notes. If you're gonna consider the Dark Depths combo, add a Golos here. Go with your Maze of Ith.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cute.
Hargan Dragon Lord.
Dragon Lord. Oh, you poor little guy.
That does sound
So
like a
cool.
This was a Figure of Destiny was obviously the more premier thing. This thing did do its job.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah. We were getting down to the whoa, yeah. All right.
Electrolyze. Electrolyze being unplayable in Modern is what broke my heart.
That's
At least you
That's
can
one of
get
those
Fire
things
Ice,
that's,
but
just so simple, it's hard to imagine replacing or upgrading it.
yeah, just Fire Ice is what you have, but Fire Ice is not
all
Electrolyze.
right. With that card, we've reached 360, and we have a stack this big left. We're actually almost
400
done.
cards. Like 380 to 400 is what the cube is.
Yeah, I was trying to cut it down to 360 and couldn't get there. I think that's what it was. Poof.
Pants
Because-
Karn.
Because I keep seeing cards like this. Oof. This is a good card. There was a moment where, when there was mention of popular Planeswalker reprint, this is the one I thought might be there, but there was confirmation that the Karn has a different name, so it's not
okay.
limited.
Probably for the best.
Probably for the best. And
Sad Karn. Now here's the
There is this
thing:
house.
is
it's true, PokeCap.
have Karn and Ugin ever met? You think that
You
they
mean
should.
outside of deck building?
Yeah, no.
You feel like they should know each other.
Karn-
Maybe they're working acquaintances. Like they're coworkers.
Oh, love to see Karn.
Duskwatch Recruiter. This guy's okay.
Yeah, this card's real.
There might be some new werewolves that. I'll have to think about the new werewolves.
Hey, of course it's here.
Torrential Gear Hulk.
Torrential Gear Hulk is worth playing.
It's one of the first cards that I had on Arena back when it was in beta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just had this blue deck that was big mama.
Delver.
Is there enough support for Delver in this? I haven't seen Young Pyromancer
Probably not.
I haven't seen Young
Yeah.
Pyromancer or Mentor, and I haven't seen I don't know. Well,
But Delver being bad has never kept
True.
people from playing Delver.
That's
since
true.
its
Hey,
gen.
there was a draft we played with this card where our deck contained 5 instants and sorceries, and this flipped every goddamn time. Just easy. Just draw the card.
Just
yeah.
No,
Draw it.
just draw the Green
What's
Sun, the best
Green
Zenith.
Sun's for-
What's
It's a green space
Suns, not greens. Sorry, I'm thinking Demons' Souls,
Demons' Sons or
Kaz is still trapped in the YouTube. Oh no. Okay.
Elven. something to make your Chains of Mephistopheles good. Chains is not in the cube.
No. Wow.
Vidalcan
Shackles.
Shackles.
Hey, the last time I played this
Wow.
cube, I used Shackles, and it was good.
Yeah, this card. So again, I started playing during Mirrodin Champions, and Mono Blue Control. That was the last time Mono Blue Control was ever real.
Yeah.
Because they got to play Shackles, they got to play O-Stone, they got to play Modeleek and Condescence. They had multiple counters on 2. They got to play like all sorts of just really strong Thirst for Knowledge. Some of them got to have this weird infinite like value engine with an Arcbound Reclaimer. But Shackles was just the card that made them over the top.
Shackles is a bit knowledge testing, which is kind of why you don't see it in cubes nowadays, or at least on Moto, where it does messed up stuff because you can change control at instant speed. Like,
the first Magfest I went to was partially paid for by a foil Vidalcan Shackles, and to that I say thanks, EDH players.
Yeah.
We're just seeing, good old.
Is he the worst fetch?
I see it come around the most, so it probably is.
Not Windburst Heights.
Windswept.
Sorry, Windburst Heights is the one that's on my mind because I was talking about it.
I don't remember Owling Mine being blue-red.
No,
it might have just been blue.
There were variants that were like Stone Rain and stuff, but really that was a different deck that was doing Magnivore things, I think.
Yeah.
Fire Drinker Satyr.
Fire Drinker Satyr.
Sudden Impact. I don't know if Sudden Impact was worth splashing for in your Owling Mine deck, but maybe.
Oh, here it is. We had.
Oh, Ancestral Vision. Okay, so there is at least one fun thing to cascade into.
And I think this card has a bite right here.
Yeah.
Oh no. Partially nibbled.
Yeah, just a little nibble. Somebody had a chomp. They wanted one card. Just one card.
It looks like that.
Yeah.
My favorite. It looks like did Ancestral Visions make it in?
There we go.
Okay.
Now it did. So, why play Ancestral when you play Treasure Cruise? Why not both?
Yeah, you can play both.
Anyway, this is again, some cards are in here for certain people to play with them.
It would be fine to remove it. Lodestone sadly doesn't have much of a place in this flavor of cube.
Yeah, but it does beat ass.
Yeah, I love attacking for 5 with my hate card.
Ancestral Vision, it's right here. I got it.
Yeah, they were.
It didn't go in the first time, but I got the second. Thank you. Wow. All right.
Blood-soaked champion. This guy's okay, but he might be. There's like a lot of this kind of effect. You've got your Taster's Choice for 1/1 2/1 black creatures that can't block. Remand. Does certain tricks with certain flashback effects. We learned that the hard way.
Okay, yep.
Dark Ritual.
I think it was actually think it was Torrential Gear Hulk that we learned that. Where I said, no, it's like Snapcaster Mage. It'll exile it. It will not exile it.
I love at the end here that we're just seeing a lot of like really powerful cards.
Yeah, some bullshit guys. Deathrite Shaman, Legal and Pioneer.
Oof, I mean, no fetches, no fetch lands.
Got your Fabled Passage. Makeshift Mannequin. Now, Makeshift Mannequin, I don't know why. I'm very happy that the Aether Mage Touch in Modern deck got to be happy playing Aether Mage's Touch. I don't know why they just didn't play Makeshift Mannequin, though, and not be Esper. Hymn to Turok.
Yep.
That's the art you went with. It's pretty good art.
Yeah, I went with this one.
There's a lot of choices.
There are a lot of choices.
This is the Ritual Circle one. The classic is Wolf. Wolf him.
3 Wolf Moon, yeah.
Big Wolf.
There's also a lot of choices for Dark Ritual, too. I like Alter Dark Ritual.
Gilded Lotus. I know people have had success playing this in this cube, so. Hey.
Recoil.
Recoil. MDB recoil. Their card gets to be in your
So-
cube, but why doesn't mine get to be in your cube?
You have a card?
The GBT obliterate.
Oh, well.
I made that up for the
I know.
for the Yoko turn I played in and won.
We're near the end here. There are, I think, 6 more, some more.
The hymn you don't see a lot is Table Hymn to Turok. I like that one a
Giant
lot.
Solifuge?
Giant Solifuge.
Solifuge.
Yeah,
Wow.
giant solifuge.
Fun fact.
Insect.
Unworded Shroud?
Yeah, this is our good friend
Oh, dear.
Shroud. This was an ass kicker in
Yeah.
certain matchups.
Unbeatable.
Fun fact: when this was spoiled, the toughness was kind of like covered up like this, and some people thought they could see a 3 instead of a 1.
That's what the card would be now. It would be this, but with hex.
So people thought that this was a 4-3 with this stat line, and boy howdy, it wasn't. So people were like, "Oh, disappointing. The card sucks." No, sorry, the card's actually quite good.
Could they print that as a 4/3 hexproof haste trample these days?
Isn't that just called Questing Beast?
No, hex does not have hexproof.
I mean, it could. You can
Well,
just do whatever you want, right?
yeah.
Like,
Depends on certain days of the week.
as I mentioned, why not both?
Why not both?
Just Treasure Cruise.
Yeah.
Giant Solifuge. What a thing.
I know.
Was dig through time earlier? I think I
Yeah, we
remember
saw
seeing
it.
dig
We
through
had
time.
it earlier. Of course, we have to finish off these. I don't know if I've seen Copperline Gorge.
He's randomly missing a fast land.
I might be randomly missing.
Bonfire.
Bonfire, also a historical card. We love this card too much to ever cut it. It
Mm.
does impossible things.
Yeah,
Bonfire of the Damned will get you out of situations perhaps only
guess-
balance can get you out of.
I guess what we're learning from this is that this is a cube of dreamers. We love the big plays. We dream big. We like magical Christmas land.
I love Cloud Goat. This is
Goat. Goat's pretty good.
all right. What is it?
It's a Copperline Gorge.
What's the final card?
Final card.
Final card. What is it? What's a card we haven't seen?
Oh, I know what it is. It's Small Drifter.
No, I
No,
think
we've seen Moldrifter.
No, I thought we saw it outside of the beginning.
saw
Did you
Muldrifter.
actually
No,
have
no,
it?
because it was the special
so.
one. we pulled
So
the
I took a look. This is predictable. If you've been keeping up,
Oh god.
if you've been keeping up for the last 3.5 hours,
Oh, is it Immercool?
I'm gonna say Mother of
good,
Runes.
That's a good guess because you're finishing a cycle, but it's not.
Immercool's not in the cube?
Emrakril's not in the cube, apparently.
Whoa.
We had Resto. Form is outside. Looks like it has not been guessed, but we saw Frost Grave Inferno.
Oh.
And,
Sun Titan.
and- yeah, yes.
Signed to Sun
Bazaz
Titan.
got it.
Yeah. Is this your favorite Titan? I think it's the Titan I've seen you play the most.
It is the Titan I've played the most. This one is this one I got signed at Gen Con, if I remember my events. Yeah, 2010. Love having the full,
that was kind of an unfair test. Which cycle of things are we completing?
I know. Because, guess what? There aren't all the commands because I'm not playing Incendiary.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Right.
So that puts your cube at 389.
389, of course. So my cube is has some problem. So
Unscientific currently.
So we're
Completely
learning.
playable, but
If there's science to this.
we're learning
you
that
got
there's
any more
some
white
problems.
cards than there are than.
No, hit save changes.
Oh, save changes.
Okay, 51, 49. Okay, 51, 49, 49, 51, 46, 53.
How many artifacts?
We're missing a couple cards. I must have cut down on multicolor because there's only 5 of each. There's 20 artifacts.
That's pretty low, at least for me.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's missing an entire cycle of 10.
Yeah,
for
so
this.
it
Yeah.
might be, again, I know I cut I cut a lot. Over here these are the basic lands.
Yeah.
And then this is the stuff that was cut. There's also another box I have down here in a drawer that's also cut cards. But that's like much older cut cards. Teferi's Moat. That's cut from a long time ago. But like, yeah. Ooh.
Torment of Hellfire.
The thing I like the most about this cube is the amount and kind of old jank power that is allowable. Where like
I'm gonna
the others like Moxen, no, Lotus,
Wait,
no.
did a dust bunny fall off that box you got from right under your desk?
Oh dear.
Wheel of
A
Fortune.
dust ball just appeared. So like I cut the balance because I thought like balance was too messed up.
Yeah.
I ended up cutting but I think in order to make this an even number, the final edition,
You're just gonna add the questing beast.
we're gonna add, remove, card to add.
Yeah, you could ask questing Feldegriff, yes.
So that'll put us to 390.
Yes, in theory.
So, all right, we have a full cube list.
Hey, 390 sounds like a.
It should be cut a little more because that leaves like just 2 packs untouched on a full.
So here's the problem that we're going to have editing this cube.
Yep.
Like first blush, we would just like want to cut 30 cards from it and call it a day.
That's not how this goes.
But it needs restructuring. So you're going to have, I think you're going to have to add to it and then cut.
So,
which is going to make it harder.
Whew. Here's the pieces of the webcam that I took off.
Yeah, I guess what we'll have to do to.
Yeah, we had to manually adjust the focal length of the lens to get any kind of focus out of it.
Yeah, that's sadly typical of those. Yeah. I guess in order to do that, we'll just have to play a whole bunch of cubes to, get a sense of what other cards we like. Darn. What are you gonna do?
We've continued to do forever. So, all right, so that's the cube in a box. That's what this box is. That's the cube. So,